And now it's time to get you ready for the match with the Phoenix Rising pregame warm-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
So another night in September for Phoenix Rising to face off against a potential thwarting foe for a playoff spot come November. Tonight on Rising Radio, this is the pregame warm-up, abbreviated tonight as the players step out on the pitch at 38th and Washington. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez, Casey Smith is down on the sideline. We'll hear from him in just a moment. Phoenix Rising, Loudoun United tonight for the fourth consecutive year these two teams face off. Kevin.
Loudoun's on the bubble of a home playoff spot. Their first ever playoff berth in club history, but they're trying to make it happen at home. Phoenix Rising has the opportunity to jump as high as third place in the Western Conference tonight. Everything on the line for both teams, and this starts the most important stretch of the year for Phoenix Rising. 6 games to go, including this one tonight for Phoenix. Kevin brings up the key point. Phoenix could jump up to third. They could also fall out of the playoff picture altogether down in ninth. The topsy-turvy Western Conference roll will continue well into October as we reach towards the end of the September months in the USL Championship. We'll step aside for the national anthem with kickoff coming up next here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
This is a true cruise in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL Champions.
And a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tire simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Let's get into the action. Phoenix Rising Soccer, live now on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Another Saturday night for Phoenix Rising to take on an opponent from the Eastern Conference as Loudoun United is in town in the Valley of the Sun on this Saturday night, September 20th on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez. First, though, Casey Smith is down on the touchline. Casey, two teams that are reaching the tail end of their season, still with plenty to play for, bud.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix Rising is teetering on the edge of a playoff berth. Coach Pa Modaka said it's always crunch time, and crunch time is the best thing you have. Focusing on the little details can win you a game or lose you a game. Now is when the points are most valuable, so now we have to make sure our focus is spot on every day. When we do that, we know we are a tough team to beat. Whether or not they can get enough points, it's looking like they'll need around 9 to 10 to make that playoff berth, and it starts here against a tough Loudoun team. Phoenix Rising is yet to win a game against an Eastern Conference team. We'll see if they can do it here tonight.
Casey, thanks. Casey will have more through this one going on. Plenty of storylines for these two teams. Ryan Martin for Loudoun United. Phoenix getting a little bit healthier towards the end of the year, Kevin. This is probably the biggest game of Phoenix's season so far, but we will say that plenty down the rest of the way.
And we've said it plenty before this, but this is one of those ones where you look at it and it's not a, hey, we need to win to survive. This is a we need a win to thrive. They can bump themselves up into the heart of the playoff picture, not the bubble, not the playoff line, the playoff picture with a win against Loudoun United. Then you have two more big home games. This starts what could be a cascading effect on the season that could be positive or could be negative.
It's a big stretch for Phoenix, who sits 7th in the Western Conference. They probably need 8 or 9 more points from the remaining 6 games, including this one tonight, to make the playoffs for sure. As they race towards their first ever postseason under Pa Modaka, Loudoun United looks for its first ever postseason in its 6th season of existence under Ryan Martin. As Loudoun will kick it off first in an all-white away strip. Their goalkeeper, Hugo Faru, in a light blue. Phoenix in the home red. Patrick Rakowski, their goalkeeper, in the all-black. As the referee in yellow blows his whistle tonight, it is Rodrigo Albuquerque who takes us into this Saturday night in the Valley of the Sun. Hugo Faru gets it off the kickoff and lifts it long up towards Darius Johnson's head. It's cleared out of touch. No, it'll stay in with DJ. Cabral, and then Skiers, and now it finally rolls over the touchline. 15 seconds into the contest. Loudoun United have the ball, 37 points, 3rd in the Eastern Conference this year. Their best ever season under Ryan Martin, the only coach the club has really ever known. For Phoenix, 31 points, just a couple of points clear of the playoff line, just a couple of points off of a home playoff spot. That is how tight the Western Conference is, as Loudoun United move it right to left and now stand it at midfield. The ball in behind for Florian Velo, the number 10 for United. A good ball up into the back post, knocked around, falls at the top of the box for Zach Ryan to strike. It's blocked. And now Phoenix will regain possession with Drew Skundrick. It may have been Drew Skundrick who had the shot. Isan Sako driving forward for Rising. And they go backward for Isela Senge. Spins inside his own 6. And loses a defender before skipping a couple of lines to Noble Okello. Middle Park, halfway through the far touchline and the middle pitch. Remy Cabral, a first-time ball, wide space. Isan Sako attacking third for Rising. Sako slinging long, tipped away by Ben Mines, kept by J.P. Skiers. 2nd minute, Daniel Flores on it. Left side attacking third, Phoenix. Darius Johnson now on his right foot, lays it back 25 yards from goal. And then for Daniel Flores again, and now 90 seconds in, Rising's rhythm of possession can begin inside the opposition half.
And Phoenix dominated the ball against Sacramento, especially in that first half, which was fairly poor for Phoenix Rising on the road in Heart Health Park. But now controlling the ball against this Loudoun side could be much more valuable. And if they're going to maintain the pace and control the tempo like this, it'll be a much easier night than it was in Sacramento for the first 45.
Weakly played ball over the top is swept up by Loudoun's goalkeeper, Hugo Faru. Kevin, these are two teams that want to have the ball, both in the top 3rd in the USL Championship in possession, both in the top 4 in the league in goals scored. You could see some fireworks tonight. Giannis Learman with the ball. He's the right center back tonight for the away side.
Phoenix hasn't always done their best work when they've had the lion's share of the ball, though often it's been when they've had less of the ball that they've been forced to play on the counter, which is usually where they've scored more of their goals.
Learman skips the ball, left side touchline. Kwame Awuah, the leader in touches for Loudoun United. 1-2 with Skundrick. Awuah getting it again by the byline. Cut out by Colin Smith. Back in the lineup tonight is Colin Smith. The right back starting. Rising electing to keep it. 4th minute, a scoreless start so far. Noblacallo, Middle Park. To your point, Rising, as you put it earlier, Kev, more of a counterattack team when they're having success. But when they do have the ball, are there ways that Phoenix can manufacture space in behind like a counterattacking team would want as they keep it with Noblacallo inside their own 18?
Well, it's all about weaving through the midfield, and they've had real problems breaking through midfield blocks, which is what they've run into a lot more recently. And over the last few fixtures, it's been times where they can't move through the central third of the pitch. And when you can't do that, you're just relying on pure luck to bomb a ball over the top and win a header and get something going, which is counterattacking football. But when you're building out of the back, you don't want that to be your only opportunity to create.
In the middle of the park now, Shiho skipping a line, finding Darius Johnson. Ball into the feet of Avievu. First time ball just under hit as he looked for Daniel Flores, and Loudoun will take it over on a throw. Play it quickly to Giannis Learman, who goes long looking for the run of Zach Ryan. Claimed by Patrick Rakowski, longest tenured member of this Phoenix Rising team. Won a championship with the club in 2023, in which Rising faced some similar hardships to this season. That team in 2023 led the league in draws that year, just as this Phoenix Rising team does. 7-7-10 is Phoenix this year in the American scoring format. Wins, losses, then draws. Avievu, DJ, Darius Johnson on the left side, skipping one in for Flores. Shoved away by Garrison Tubbs, who gets his first start tonight for the red and black of Loudoun United. Launches that one into Rosette. Rising will have a throw left side of the pitch in the attacking third in a 5th minute. Still no shots for either team so far in this one.
Strong boots there in defense. That's a perfectly timed just tackle, challenge, everything in between. A dual win on FOTMOB. That's one that they'll remember because that stopped what would have been probably the first shot of the game.
Tubbs, a loanee from DC United, his second loan stint this year at Loudoun. Throwing in behind from Flores at the byline. Cabral, good ball across. Colin Smith arriving to it in the 18. Clipping up to the penalty spot. Nobody there as Drew Skundrick sees it long.
It's a perfect ball from Remy Cabral. There's just nobody there in time. Colin Smith gets there probably about a half second or maybe a full second too late. If somebody's there, they can put a quality boot to it. The goalkeeper's off his line. That's a missed opportunity from Phoenix because nobody's chasing and crashing.
Noblacallo on it for Rising, who have had 60% of the ball to start this game. Center circle, Rafa Shihos, the elder statesman of this Phoenix team. Orange boots, shading upward, lifting a ball wide left. On the touchline, Darius Johnson in the attacking third. Running one-on-one with Ben Mines, the winger dropping deep, and Mines takes it off of Johnson in the corner. Mines progressing upward, and the first foul of the night awarded to Loudoun United from Rodrigo Albuquerque, who's in his first season full-time working at the 2nd division of the United States Pyramid. Bennett Savage is the AR1, Emmanuel Padilla the AR2 on the far side. Abdul Riza Juma is the 4th official tonight. Garrison Tubbs on the ball for Loudoun in their own half. Now Giannis Lehrman, left to right go, the away side in white. Good ball piercing over the top. Florian Velo, first time he's onside. It's going to go towards the byline. And Patrick Rakowski will be quick off his line to claim for a Phoenix Rising team that are in the playoff hunt. So close to a home game, so close to being out of it in general. 6 games to go in the season, 7th minute, scoreless so far against the 3rd place team in the Eastern Conference.
And it means so much for Loudoun, just like it means so much for this Phoenix Rising team. But Loudoun is on the edge of their first ever playoff berth in club history. There's a chance they can do that at home, which is something that Phoenix has been chasing for almost half a decade now, that home playoff game, especially one at 38th and Washington. So much on the line for both teams. Both teams are both playing for something so important. We'll see exactly what shakes out over the 90, but this is going to be a tough one all the way to the end.
Loudoun United doing so under Ryan Martin, who is in his 7th full season in charge of the club. There is heavy rumors that this could be his last season at Loudoun. It was reported a couple of weeks ago he was given an ultimatum towards the end of July that he would have to win some games, and if he didn't, no matter how well Loudoun did this year or are doing currently, as Kevin put it, on track to certainly make their first ever playoff appearance, he'd be gone. We'll hear a little bit later on that one from Casey Smith, who's the 3rd member of our team. Tommy McCabe dropping in, and Learman. Does Loudoun get into almost, Kevin, a back 3 shape in build-up? It's almost won by Remy Cabral, but snuffed out by Skundrick. Tommy McCabe was one of the players you wanted to highlight coming into this game for the away side.
Yeah, the double pivot for Loudoun is so important. Whether it's Skundrich or it's McCabe, they flow as well as they do. If McCabe is on and they're able to break through midfield blocks and weave through the half spaces and find guys like Florian Below, or when Abdelatif Abakora plays, finding guys like that up front, special things happen. They've had games where they can just break it open and score so much. But when they can't navigate in the midfield and when McCabe isn't on, it's pretty tough for Loudoun.
Keegan Tingy, a first-time ball. Ben Mines by the corner flag, crossing in, left to the back post. One-time finish! Back of the net for the away side tonight. A quick counter from Loudoun, and it's Florian Below who finishes it off for the Virginians. His first goal in the league since May 10th. And Loudoun United lead inside of 10 minutes, 1-0.
It's textbook, it's clinical from Loudoun, and they did exactly what I just asked them to do, which is weave through the half spaces and find a way to find the talent up front. Who else but Florian Below? It's a beautiful shot. There's not much that Rakovsky can do when he's watching the cross zip by, but nobody is in defense. The numbers aren't there for Phoenix, and it is a poorly conceded goal for Rising.
Indispensable in this Loudoun United team this year. Below has played all but 3 minutes for Ryan Martin's side. One ball in behind from Keegan Tingy on the right. Found Ben Mines. First post, it was left by Archimedes Ordonez. Florian Below finished calmly beyond Patrick Rakovsky to give Loudoun United the early lead. Such a long journey for the Northern Virginia side. They start strong. It's been Phoenix Rising who have made a habit of scoring early over the last couple of weeks, but you look back to the slow start in Sacramento last week, and now the early goal conceded here, and maybe the tide has turned against the club.
The issue with being on the chase is that you're never in a position to win the points, and they did so well in that second half for Sacramento. What were they rewarded with? Another draw that added to now their league, tied for the league lead, and draws the entire USL Championship. It's an issue that has plagued them pretty much all year, but when you're always on the chase, it's so much harder to get 3 points.
Long ball over the top from Asenge, swept up by Hugo Faru, heavy touch, Mines. He finds his way beyond Cabral, lifting over for Tingy. And too far hit. It's a Phoenix Rising team who have gained 8 points from losing positions this year. His 10th best in the USL Championship. And what a start for Ryan Martin's side, who, as we talked about earlier, this could be his last year. Casey Smith is down there on the touchline with a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a surprising bit of news, and one that will surely see Ryan Martin be one of the most interesting potential coaching hires going forward. On August 26th, sources reported that to USL Tactics that the team would be parting ways at the end of the year. This is part of something that has been a sort of new era under the control of Virginia Revolution, who took management by a merger in April. Martin will definitely be one of the most interesting prospects around, as under this Loudoun side, he's brought them to what should be their first playoff berth.
Casey, thank you. To your point, Casey and Kevin, feel free. It's been a reshuffling for Loudoun over the last couple of years, who let their general manager go. He's now forward Madison in USL League One. It's worked for them this year. A little bit of mixture of old and new. Free kick for Phoenix while Casey was chatting. Daniel Flores was brought down.
And it has been such a big shakeup for Loudoun. What they've done with it is really impressive.
Long ball up to the back post. Wanted the head of Okello, but Daniel Flores just overhit everybody. Goal kick for Loudon. On a windy night here, Hispanic Heritage Night. One of the many theme nights. The rest of the way for Phoenix Rising. Long ball, Faru, touched by Skundrick, flicked on by J.P. Skeers, who's the captain tonight for Phoenix. Finds the feet of Rising's number 10, Hope Aveyevu. 1-2 touch, Aveyevu driving, looking right, Colin Smith arriving. First time ball is low and blocked by Kwame Awua. It will be not kept in touch. It looked like Florian Velo might have had a chance for Loudon. Throw in for Phoenix Rising, right side attacking third. Good move from Phoenix, created by Aveyevu. Left for Colin Smith, who starts tonight for the first time in some time.
Just a second too late there from Colin Smith. You can probably chalk it up to the fact that this is his first start in months, but that's the second time that he's arrived late to a crucial ball. That time actually gets a boot to it, but it hits shins for Loudon. Doesn't even have a chance in the box.
Skeers lifting long for the long legs of Noble Okello. Keeps it in his possession, lost out to Awua. And that is last touched off Kwame Awua. Those two know each other well. Well different in age. Awua, 29 years old. He's done the journey. Okello, much younger, 25. Long ball over the top, Faru for Sacco. Faru punching away, he's fouled in the process. It'll be a free kick for the Loudon goalkeeper. Flag may have come up as well.
That's a tough one for Isan Sacco. He went up before Faru had even jumped off of his line to go up into the air for the ball. That being said, you can't crash into the goalkeeper. That's just the end-all, be-all. But it's a shame for Isan because that's not one reason for him just to go fly into Hugo.
Faru a little shaken. He will stand up in the light blue, the yellow cleats, cut socks, white accessories. Quarter of an hour into this one. Loudon United scoring first in the 9th minute from Florian Velo, the 32-year-old Frenchman, who once upon a time plied his trade in Major League Soccer for years. The ever-busy mid-2010s New York Red Bulls teams. 58% of the ball belonging to Phoenix right now.
It's just the common trend, Ryan, having the lion's share of the ball, having the opportunity to dictate the game, and yet Loudon, who has had a significantly less share of the ball through the first 15 minutes and change, has dictated the pace. They've had the counterattack, they've had the chance, they've had the shot. Phoenix is still looking for their first real opportunity as a boot almost goes up and clocks J.P. Skeers.
It was Ben Mines' foot, kept by Loudon. Wide it goes for Keegan Tingey. By the way, on that foul on Flores a few moments ago that we talked about while Casey was giving his story, it was Ben Mines, the offender. He was given a yellow card just 12 minutes into the game. Ben Mines on a yellow card, so he'll have to be careful going forward for the rest of this game. Tingey, first time, cut out by Johnson, kept by Keegan Tingey, looking in behind. Just getting a touch was Asela Senge, and Patrick Rakowski will in the end get a full hand or two to it to give Phoenix Rising the possession back in this game. You mentioned Loudon. Yes, they've had less of the ball, but you say they've controlled the tempo. That's really their thing. They will always dictate the pace of play. That's why they've been so good this year.
And I would also argue it's more of a Phoenix Rising thing to just have the ball and let the game be dictated by the other side. They had to get back in the game against Sacramento due to a red card that went down in a called penalty. They didn't dictate the game on their own terms. They had some help. That's been their issue. Winning a game from the first minute to the 90th minute, winning a full 90, not just one half, not just a half and a half, not 70 minutes, winning from the first whistle to the third whistle, and that's been the issue in 2025. This is nothing new tonight.
Good flick on from Johnson, finds the feet of Flores on the left side by the byline. Now back up to the top of the box for Hope Aveyevu. Aveyevu, Cabral, Aveyevu couldn't dance. It was just done well by Drew Skundrick, and now Kwame Awua steps inside on his left foot, now to his right, a great first time ball. He's got Zach Ryan. Zach Ryan racing on the left side for Loudon. 17th minute. The away side in front here in Phoenix. Loudon United driving away and pushed wide. Feet of Awua stepped in through by Colin Smith, and Loudon will have to just keep it, triangulate backwards through Garrison Tubbs.
It's good work from Colin Smith to stop the action there, to stop Loudon from creeping and encroaching on their attacking third. Phoenix getting a little breather there from their right back, and they missed him so desperately. Before he went down for injury, he had played almost every single minute for the club. They missed him desperately down that right side. They played 2 different academy kids in his place. One went off to college. His second one is staying from college. He was originally committed to UC Irvine. Now he's staying just a little bit longer. That's Pierce Rizzo. They missed him so bad. It's moments like those that remind you exactly how valuable Colin Smith is on that right-hand side.
Ball comes all the way to Patrick Rakowski. You mentioned the injuries. The first player that filled in for Colin Smith was Braxton Montgomery. He's now at Rutgers.
He's at Rutgers.
They tell me they lost to Iowa on Friday. That was a. Did you see the doink?
I did see the doink.
That was loud. JP Skeers is on at 18th minute. Phoenix progressing beyond the midfield line for Remy Cabral. Whipped wide space. Isan Sako, right side. One runner in the box is Johnson. At the back post is Aviyevu. Sako will keep it, stand on it, and shimmy. Look to lose his man Velo. Skeers, Sako, just a terrible hit. He had the feet of Flores, and he lasered it, lofted high over Daniel Flores. As he gives it away, and Loudon have a throw.
That attack lived and died with Isan Sako. The ball finds his feet. He drags the ball to the corner of the box, doesn't do anything with it, lets the ball sit at his feet, lets the entire Loudon defense get set, and then just shoots a ball right over Danny Flores' head. Nothing you could do there besides scratch your own.
Flores, and Mines goes to ground. No foul, says the referee. So Colin Smith is fit again. We've got Casey Smith again, though, to tell you who isn't for Phoenix Rising tonight.
Yeah, it's been a season where Rising has been without plenty of players over this season, but today they'll be without Jamison Ping, Kelvin Arase, Damian Rivera, Mohamed Traore, and goalie Tristan Henry. In his place, playing backup goalie, will be the academy kid Tristan Shaw.
Thanks, Casey. Ball comes forward, cut out by Learman. So pretty much the same injury report that it's been the last couple of weeks for Phoenix Rising, as their starting 11 is largely formed over the last couple of weeks, I would say.
The only question mark now is their defensive midfielder, Jean-Eric Morceau, who they've brought in from the transfer window. Now it's just a waiting game as to where he'll be and when he'll be there.
He's arrived. He trained this week with the club. Tingy into the box, away by Asenge, not out yet. Zach Ryan is on it. Zach Ryan strikes, but high and wide. Out of touch for a goal kick. Jean-Eric Morceau. He arrives from France, Valenciennes, one of the more prestigious second division sides in the country.
Has a good time in Ligue 2, was sold for a club record when he came from Africa as well. He's one of those guys that's super intriguing, but the real question is, Ryan, how much time does he have to get into the group and form his way into the squad? Is he going to be a big piece this year? Is it just a next year thing? It's tough to call.
Also worth noting that JP Skeers, who you'd think would be Morsu's direct rival to that holding midfield spot, he's wearing the captain's armband tonight, so maybe a vote of confidence from his manager, Pamadou Ka.
I think JP's done everything to earn that vote.
I agree. Shihas under pressure for Phoenix. They keep it with Skeers and then Asenge. His manager, Pamadou Ka, sprouting some bright silver pants and a long black cardigan. Just urging Daniel Flores to find the right choice. 21 minutes into this game, a 1-0 lead for the away side tonight, Loudon United. Ball wide for Colin Smith. Good cross in for Sako. Found Cabral, left by Remy Cabral. He just whiffed on it. I don't think Remy thought that one was going to get beyond Isan Nino Sako. And it did. Loudon have possession, clearing long. Shihas keeping it in. That's veteran stuff. Aviyevu wins ball middle pitch. Drew Skundrick was second to it. Nobilicello turning forward, then out of trouble backwards. Now JP Skeers, they just keep the ball together. Midfield 3.
Very strong from Nobilicello there. They keep the ball in his boots not once but twice under heavy pressure from 2 defenders. I've really liked so far through the first 20 minutes, Ryan. Hope Aviyevu has been much more active in this opening stanza of the game than he has been over the last few. That's been his issue. He's been involved and active on almost every counterattack and attack in general for Phoenix Rising.
Kello switching play for the run of Colin Smith, right at the end line, right foot. He'll cross it in, looking over the head of Tubbs. Slipped away by Learman, kept by Awua, finds the feet of Velo. Defensive third for Loudon. They will get out of trouble. 22nd minute. Switching play. Ordonez, good ball first time. Tingy has it. Right side, so much room for Loudon. Keegan Tingey in the attacking third, clipping through. It raced beyond everybody. And out for a Rising goal kick.
Noble Okello gambled in the midfield there, trying to win a challenge off of the back of the pursuing attacker, but he just couldn't get there in time, and suddenly he spun around. Noble Okello loses the ball, and Loudoun's able to flow into the final third so easily. It's those final third entries that have killed Phoenix. It's not that they're doing anything technically wrong, it's that they let teams bark and bang on their door way more than they should for free.
Rising's had more than Loudoun tonight, 11-9, but Loudoun been more efficient with those touches and those entries. They've got the goal. Noble Okello spraying through a pair, finds the feet of Avievu, back for Skiers just outside the center circle, attacking half. The center back is Shihus, 2 tape wrists. Off of Shihus. It's so tough to break down this low block of Loudoun when they do go to a lead. They sit to very clear Kevin banks of 4.
It's tough, but it's not impossible, and it's something that Phoenix has done so far this year. That's the glimmer of hope. You've been here before, you've done it before, you've gotten points from the chase.
Colin Smith crossing up inside the 6, too close to Hugo Faru. Goalkeeper for Loudoun high points it, picks it up.
They're getting more dangerous too. They've had more entries. They're starting to knock. It's just, can they do it before they go to halftime? Because I feel like, Ryan, something that we've noticed over the last, I'd say, month and change, that Phoenix fizzles out when they get to the locker room, and then they have to get themselves back into the game, work their way back into the pace and the tempo. After whatever adjustments are made after the first 45, can you score here in the first half rather than let it sit till the final 30? That's the new problem to solve.
Florian Velo has dropped in to be the tempo setter in the holding midfield role, the left winger that started this game. Garrison Tubbs, a bad pass, finding Smith just out of reach for Sacco. Colin Smith played it from the first time opportunity. Just shaded it a little bit too far to Sacco's right. 24th minute, 1-0 to the visitors. They're on the ball, Loudoun is. Learman over the top for Tingey, slipping is Flores. Keegan Tingey, top of the box. Archimedes Ordonez, shimmy, shuffles, lost out to Okello. And Avievu, he's corralled. That's a foul. Will be of the yellow card variety. Another booking to Loudoun United. As Keegan Tingey is the second player on the right side for Loudoun United. Joins Ben Mines.
That's quality for Avievu to get torn down there. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to break free. Slows his body down just enough to sell the throw. Throws himself to ground there and earns a yellow card for Phoenix. That's something that they need right now.
Patrick Rakowski is on the ground.
That's big because there's no backup goalkeeper tonight on the bench, Ryan.
Well, there is a backup goalkeeper, just not one of the senior variety.
Oh, that's true. Tristan Shaw?
Oh, Jinx, give me a Coke.
I believe that his official commit verification, whatever you want to call it, my apologies, to UCLA went public today. But I think they tweeted his age class wrong, too. Said he was a 2009. He's a 2008.
He's a young fella.
Yeah.
He's tall.
He is tall. See him
Tristan
walk
Shaw.
around the facility a lot.
Rakowski getting tended to here in the 26th minute by Greg Spence. As Phoenix trail 1-0, a 9th minute goal from Florian Velo. Assisted by Ben Mines, who has continued to tear it up on the right wing for Loudoun. That's his 5th consecutive game with a goal involvement. 4 assists in that time span. Rakowski, who is holding his right calf, maybe?
That's scary for a guy at his age to go down with a non-contact leg injury to the point where the physio has to come out and the game has to get stopped. At 32 years old, you don't want your German goalkeeper to hit the grass like that, but I think he's going to try to walk this one off for now.
Casey Smith is down there. Casey, do you see anything on Rakowski a little better than we can?
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to tell from my end, but it looks like he just tripped up and had some sort of injury, as you said, with the calf. He is walking off of it much better now, and I think he should be able to play throughout the rest of the half at least.
All right, Casey, thank you. He is standing. Tristan Shaw did not warm up. Patrick Rakowski will stay on the pitch, stay amongst it for Phoenix Rising. The restart is a free kick for Phoenix. Just inside their own half. Shot so far, 4 for Loudoun, 1 on target. They scored it. Phoenix Rising, nothing to show for the start of this game as of now. Skiers, Kello, and Shihus. 6th oldest player in the league, Rafa Shihus. And he hasn't found the fountain yet, so he's getting older by the day.
I hope he updates us if he does, though. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't think it's here.
Probably not. Should we ask Roro Lopez?
Trip to Miami FC maybe in the near future.
The Miami FC.
Shihus, Johnson, laid off Flores, crossing the box, cleared by Learman. Out of touch for the throw. Roro Lopez is a good shout. He's old.
Is he the oldest player in the league?
No, I don't think so.
He's 38. He's close. He's got 3 years on Rafa.
He's probably a goalkeeper. I bet you it's Matt Van Okel at Birmingham.
Oh, he might be 41.
He's old. He doesn't play anymore. Well, doesn't start. Ball in behind for Smith. Good low cross, cut out by Awula. Florian Velo dropping in. Ryan. Back he goes into Sacco. Zach Ryan turning out of trouble. Kept by Rising. This is good high pressure from Phoenix. They've won it high. Sacco, Cabral, Remy Cabral stepping on it, clipping up. Hugo Faru just stayed his ground. Rightly so. He didn't bite, stuck on the line, and was able to get a high cross to win it back for the Virginians.
It didn't work, but it's easy to like that idea from Remy Cabral. He shuts off his own angle. It almost becomes negative for him as he crashes into the penalty area, but has a chance to find Darius Johnson on the back post. The idea is there. The execution not perfect enough. He needed to thread that pretty much inch by inch exactly where it needed to be. Instead, Faru stays on his line, hops up, claims high. Loudon escapes again.
Long ball from the French goalkeeper into the feet of Ordonez, fouled by Shihus. So Matt Van Okel is the oldest player in the league. He is almost 39.
Wow, Roro's 4.
Then there is a trio of 37-year-olds, including Roro Lopez. Pedro Santos, who plays for Loudon, is not on the pitch tonight as he was sent off last week in the 5-2 defeat to San Antonio. Loudon actually led 1-0 in that game when Santos was sent off. They then conceded 5 goals in the second half. Shows you the power of having a man up. Another foul, Flores. It'll be claimed as a yellow card. Already the 3rd of the game from Rodrigo Albuquerque. He doesn't give out a ton of them. He does love his red cards, though. He has sent off 5 players this year in the 12 games he's worked. That's a lot.
It starts to get dangerous, too, when he's already thrown out 3 yellow cards tonight. It's something that Phoenix has struggled with in 2025, too. It feels like they've lost players to red cards in crucial moments. You think back to Monterey Bay at the start of the year and how that cascaded so quickly. Everything collapsed. The roof just fell off the facility in Monterey Bay, and it was a tough one. You don't want that to happen again tonight.
One of the 5 players he sent off this year was Remy Cabral in the Open Cup earlier this year. That's the only Rising game he's worked in his career. It was the shootout win over Tulsa, obviously, where Cabral could not participate in Rising's penalty shootout victory. Shihus, half an hour into the game, 1-0 Loudon. Rafa Shihus turning back the years. He's taken the ground. Advantage played by Albuquerque. Johnson, Aviyevu, Hope Aviyevu stung slow and hard. Slow and hard, low and hard. And in the 31st, just falls shy of the first post. Out for a goal kick. Faru probably had it covered.
I don't hate the idea there from Hope either. You want to be a little bit closer, but you take the shot. It's something that they've sort of hesitated to do through the first 31 minutes. They haven't just settled, taken the first touch, and shot the ball. This time, Aviyevu takes a little initiative. He tries to tuck it low. Doesn't quite get there, but it's more of a workable idea there. Rafa turns back the clock and dribbles through what felt like 3 guys in a row. Does just enough to win possession and get it all the way into the attacking third. It's quality.
Does that give Phoenix Rising some juice for the final 15 minutes of this first half?
You gotta hope.
We talked so much this week with the coaching staff and with the media about Phoenix trying to put together a full 90 minutes. They were unable to do that in Sacramento, unable to do that really all the draws they've had coming into this, 3 consecutive for Phoenix. Doesn't seem like they'll be able to do that tonight, but they've been solid throughout. Just the one counter against them. Colin Smith taking a couple of touches, into the box he goes. Colin Smith on his weaker left foot, left it high. He just stung it from 17 yards and it was always sailing into what has turned out to be a half-decent crowd here tonight on Hispanic Heritage Night.
Definitely the best crowd that we've had in a fair amount of time.
Maybe half capacity, maybe a little over. Faru inviting pressure from Cabral. At the penalty spot, the goalkeeper looking long, skipping a line. Ordonez tucked away. Lost out to Shihus. Avievu turning. Hope Avievu looking at Darius Johnson. Darius Johnson couldn't venture. And it's kept in touch by Ordonez. Archimedes Ordonez. He's taken off the ball by Avievu. It will be a throw-in for Loudon as Hope Avievu touched it last. Darius Johnson's tape came undone, his boxing tape, and he's ripped it off. Sits next to the white hat of Ryan Martin. Skipping a line, Faru on his left, almost cut out. Isako. Instead it finds Awua and McCabe and Learman, 33rd. Giannis Learman through the channel on the right side, looking for the run of Mines. And Daniel Flores just sees it out for a goal kick.
More good work here for the back line for Phoenix. They've really picked up their intensity over the last, I'd say, 15 or 20 minutes. Now it's can you turn it into quality offense? Still looking for a shot on target. Still looking for a shot in the box. You need that clear-cut chance to build off of in the second half. Even if you don't find his first goal, maybe it'll be Noble Okello, who's been venturing forward a lot in the first half.
Okello, he's got the ball. Right side, looking out for Colin Smith. Crossing up. Faru's going to bobble it at the penalty spot. And just everybody was waiting in the 6. Nobody spacing well. And it allowed Learman to shield it for Faru to pick it up. Plenty of crosses, though, for Rising. They've not been afraid to find the wide spaces and search for something in the box.
Just poor positioning there. Nobody's there to get the volley. That's the first spill to get, the first real break in the game that they get from Loudon, a spill from the keeper, and there's nobody there to even put a body to it. It's just a tough break for Phoenix.
Tingy lost it. Avievu tried to win it. Learman cleared it. Skundrick keeping. Skeers challenging. Learman, Tubbs outside his own 18. Garrison Tubbs finds Kwame Awua.
That's a good challenge there from JP Skeers to stop the forward motion there from Loudon. It's plays like that from individuals on the Phoenix defense that have really kept Loudon at bay. Besides their goal chance, they've been a little more timid through the first half and change.
Sure. Tubbs. Poor touch. Ryan was checking in. Kevin, you mentioned the 10 draws for Phoenix. I just said the 3 in a row for Rising now at this point here in September. League record for draws in a season for a side is what?
13.
What do you think? 15.
Close.
Rhode Island last year had 15 en route to a title runner-up from the Eastern Conference. Phoenix Rising's record, 13 as a club, 2023, when they won the title. So, you know, maybe it's not a terrible thing to draw. Avievu touching down for Johnson. Swept away, but kept by Flores in the attacking third. Skeers Okello. His head is up. Noble Okello will strike off the body of Learman. Cabral, it bounces. It's going to fall for Johnson. No, it won't. Just seen away by Giannis Learman. A couple of big blocks in the way for the away side.
You start to feel confident now. The ball is dropping. The ball's sitting in that box of Phoenix. Now they're getting legs to it. If you can get limbs to the ball, you can create those chances, manufacture opportunities. Something is going to fall for Phoenix. It's become more and more of a rising game now in the last 10 minutes. And you convert before the whistle blows for halftime.
Asenge, 36th minute. Midfield for Shihus. His head is up. He's being given time to skip a line for the chest of Cabral. Too hard hit. Skeers looking to challenge Ordonez. Kimi Ordonez gets through. Shihus as well. Ordonez forward. It's 3-on-3. Ordonez wide. Overhit. Mines might just keep it in touch, though. It's a foot race to the corner. He does. And Mines right by the right side corner flag. Attacking third. Back for Skundrick. And all the way for Learman. Every single white shirt in the attacking half of Rising. For the league leader in touches in the opposition half. Loudon United, they look to go long and then keep it almost constantly, game in, game out. Tubbs, Learman. Cave in a simple triangulation. Learman into the box for Velo. No foul as it's let go. Garrison Tubbs, number 32 tonight for Loudoun United. We mentioned he arrived about a week ago. Well, it's his second time with the club this year. Casey Smith, they've done a very good job of making in-season acquisitions, the Virginians.
Yeah, they've had to, because this defense has struggled mightily since June, giving up 30 goals, which is far and away the most given up by a USL Championship squad. Garrison Tubbs played just a game earlier in the year when he was on a short loan from DC United, started 7 games with them, and he's back looking to make an impact for the team.
Casey, thanks. Here comes Isan Sako, top of the box, Avievu, another block, this time by McCabe. Akello, stinging, struck wide. You don't mind it, though.
Sure, I guess. I mean, a shot's a shot, and that one was probably the best one that they've had so far. It was also the longest distance, but Akello puts a good boot to the ball, laces right through it. It almost had a chance, but it's these half chances that just don't amount to anything, Ryan, that they've built up on. They've stockpiled.
It's kind of starting to look like 2022 Phoenix Rising in terms of the shots. Maybe not the production, but everything coming from 20, 25 yards out. Loudoun has done a good job of dropping in and thwarting Rising's progression. Skiers
has been so active.
He's had to be. Everything's been long for Ordonez. Below finds it wide left. Zach Ryan's running into the box. Zach Ryan will serve. Did that go off the hand of a Rising defender? Loudoun thought so. Top of the box. Skundrick blocked by his teammate on the shot. Cleared away by Flores. And can Remy Cabral hold it up? Yes, he can. Heads it down. Sako keeping touch. He's fouled in the process. He'll play quickly. He finds the feet of Hope Avievu in the 39th minute. A 1-0 lead for Loudoun. They scored 30 minutes ago. Attacking third is Avievu. Saunters into the area. Hope, with Flores to his left, spins back and finds Skiers. Flores. Skiers, the captain tonight. The band around his left forearm. Wide for Flores. Heels on the chalk. Going to step in, defended by Mines. Skiers and Akello, and a simple 5-yard pass like they've played a couple of times today. Asenge, and all the way back for Rakovsky. For those that might be, tuning into us but watching on at home, Kevin, and seeing those 5-yard passes, what's the value of playing just a little 5-yard rhythm pass like that we've seen Skiers and Akello play tonight?
That's how you shatter midfield blocks. When you start to triangulate, you start to play back and forth, you start to mix up the defense, because then one guy has to encroach, and then a little movement turns into more movement because you have to cover your defender who just moved. You have to make sure that his space is covered now too, and that's how you shift, break, and destroy a midfield block.
Rising keeping it going. Avievu cut out by Kwame Awuah, one of the best left backs in the league. He wins it defensively, then plays it wide for Zach Ryan. Covered by Colin Smith. Middle Park Ryan. Turns away from a couple of red shirts and back for Garrison Tubbs. Nothing there for Phoenix despite the movement into Loudoun's deep half. 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time in the opening half of this one. It'd be such an important win for either team, but as it stands, Loudoun right now almost surely securing a playoff spot with this one today, and inching ever so closely to maybe hosting one at Segra Park in Northern Virginia. Would that not be the story of the year? A team that had never made the playoffs, striking gold, but then also striking double gold. Learman. Tubbs. Below, cut out by Skiers. Really good. Sako, handball. Garrison Tubbs, that's a yellow card. And it is the 4th caution of this first half. 3 for Loudoun, 1 for Phoenix.
Now Phoenix forcing the issue. They have a little bit of time. I don't expect a lot of stoppage time to come up on this board. Maybe a minute, maybe 2. This is your chance right here. This free kick, this set piece, everything riding on the momentum that they've slowly built up. Can you find a shot on the net?
Free kick for Rising, maybe 40 yards away from the goal of Faru. Sort of center pitch. Hope Avievu casting a shadow as he plays it wide. Isan Sako on the right, defended by Awuah. Isan Sako dancing with Kwame Awuah. It's a cross in that's deflected away by Kwame Awuah. I keep saying his name. He's been on the ball so much tonight. It's a corner kick for Phoenix Rising.
It's the first corner of the game.
For either team. Daniel Flores will take. He'll swing it in with his left. Up is Shihus and Asenge and Nobulikalo, who's probably the main man to pick out from this point. JP Skeers is in there as well. Plenty of bigger bodies for Phoenix Rising after a summer of moves. Flores was one of those signings. He'll take it in the 43rd. His side trailing by a goal to nil. Daniel Flores lifting high, up for Shihus, away by Tingy. And Keegan Tingy in a foot race with the line will just get his body square to it and get a touch. This one well placed down the line, forcing Ben Mines to touch, and touch heavily was Darius Johnson. Throwing for Phoenix, just inside of their own half, left side.
That's good work to bite the heels there for Darius Johnson. Just puts enough pressure to apply, and suddenly the poor touch turns into a poor pass. Splays over the touchline. Now Phoenix gets another chance to settle possession. They haven't done a lot with it so far. Can you build out of the back and create something? Or maybe, Ryan, do they need to resort to what they did last week, which is playing balls over the top and trying to find your chance in the box from playing through Rakowski?
Substitutes for Loudoun getting warm in their pregame routine. Abdul Latif Abukora amongst them tonight. One of the league's best young players, the number 11 for Loudoun, who has been absent over the last couple of weeks, almost 2 months, and sparingly with injuries. He will be certainly one you'd think will feature tonight for Ryan Martin. He subbed for Rising, probably Pop Marboy on the bench. The center back, Charlie Dennis, has made a name for himself as a substitute the last couple of weeks. Asenge, Sacco, heavy touch, won by Loudoun, feet of Skundrick, 44th. Middle Park, Skundrick lifting left, Owua on the ball. He's high up the pitch for a left back, Kwame Owua. He's more advanced than his wing partner. He's found a beautiful ball into the center. Zach Ryan will progress and strike, and high it went. The shot was poor in the end. You can hear some young fans asking for autographs. They are talking to Abukora. Maybe they know.
Maybe they do know.
11 goals this year. Team lead. Shihus is on it. Final 40 seconds before the clock comes up from the fourth official.
I'd be surprised if more than 2 came up on the clock here.
I would agree.
It would be a generous watch if that was the case.
Players down for Loudoun, maybe trying to make it hard on Kevin's generous watch.
I lied, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that is a bad beat. That is a bad beat.
Bad beat. Do we have to shave Sammy's head? Make him Scott Van Pelt?
That's actually what they're saying. That's sort of what the crowd is chanting. I know you can't hear on the shotgun mics, but it's sort of been requested.
Engineer tonight, Sammy O'Brien. Casey Smith is down there on the touchline.
I think Casey Smith just got asked for an autograph.
Hot Mike Casey Smith.
Well, funnily enough, he has the same color penny on as the Loudoun United players in the bright pink. There might be some confusion.
Yeah, but we know Casey's not an athlete.
He looks like an athlete.
If an athlete was in high school, sure.
Can you not be an athlete in high school?
Sign didn't come up. We've elapsed 45 minutes. Maybe we're just going to play forever on this Saturday night.
Phoenix would like that right now.
It would give them time to score goals.
Theoretically, there's home field advantage. This is hotter than DC is. It's a little humid right now. We've had some rain recently.
Wow. 3 minutes of stoppage time. So it was a bad beat in the end. So we will probably, we're already at the 46th, so we will probably play until the 49th minute at this point. So we will get probably actually 4 minutes or so. Still, the one goal in this game came from Loudoun United. 9th minute, Florian Velo scoring, well, just his second of the USL Championship season, despite having played almost every minute this year. Asenge looking for Cabral, kept by Tubbs. Cabral almost got there. Peru had to dive on it.
We talked to Remy during the week, and he talked about how, as a striker, you have to be engaged 24/7 because you don't know if you'll only get one chance in a game. If maybe the one ball that gets played your way is the only ball that gets played your way. You're the lone man up front. He is a lone 9. He plays as a pure striker in this Phoenix Rising system, and it's balls like those that's why he dives so hard. He goes so hard for every ball. Even though the keeper is much closer than he is, if there's a chance that Farouz spills it, that could be his only chance that he gets in front of the net. Playing so hard in this first 45, it's been a complete revolution from what happened in Sacramento.
48th minute. We had, a 7 or 8 minute conversation with Phoenix Rising's number 91 in the midweek. It was probably the best answer he gave.
Yeah.
Talking about what a young player should think of as a striker. You're always talking, you got to score the goals. You got to do these things, right? But
Can't
it is
score if you're not engaged.
Staying switched on, being an active member of the team defensively as he presses Farouz.
That was close.
It's a long ball from Hugo Farouz that may just work out for Ben Mines. Shihas showing the pace, and he's committed a foul.
That's going to be a yellow.
He's on 2 knees. He can't believe it's a foul as he leans back and up to the sky. And we wait for the booking to come out of the pocket. It may not have.
Just spray paint.
So Rodrigo Albuquerque kinder on that one. Perhaps the way the ball is spraying away from goal there comes to the aid of Rising's veteran center back.
We're not done. He wants to talk to Rafa.
He may have just given him one. Yep,
there
it is. Just a little late.
We need to stop talking. I think that we need to just let the sound play. That is the second bad beat in the last 5 minutes.
The Fab 5 yellow card. 5th of this first half. Might be the most we've had in a half this year.
There's a chance.
Yellow card warning has been assessed to Phoenix Rising FC number 33.
Second in the book for Phoenix. Joins Daniel Flores. This is probably the final instance of the first half. 1-0 Loudoun as they look to tack on a second. Florian Velo standing over it with a right foot that could cross away from the frame of Rakovsky. A one-man wall of Sacco. Everybody is defending at the penalty spot for Phoenix. And the referee, Rodrigo Albuquerque, will have a conversation with Shihas and maybe Ben Mines. It would appear on the far side in front of the south end. We are into the 50th minute of this first half. 5 minutes now of stoppage time. Below to cross off the head of Sacco, up at the top of the box, slung around for McCabe, blocked off the backside of one, and they will stop play for a head injury on Isan Sacco.
That ball, Isan Sacco, before the ball was even kicked, was jumping around from the spot that he was placed in for the one-man wall. Knew exactly what he wanted to do. I don't think I've seen him jump that high all year. Throws his body in the air, lets the ball glance off of his forehead, takes all of the damage on his own. They're going to have the physio come and check him out for the head injury. But that is exactly what Phoenix needed. That was a dangerous free kick in a dangerous area. Isan Sacco doesn't save the day, but he helps avert crisis. And suddenly Phoenix might escape this half with just a goal conceded. And we'll see how much more time gets added to the watch. 2 minutes stands as the worst call I've ever made.
We are still moving to the 6th minute of injury time. Sacco is up. He will have to exit the field of play. While we have it, let's pause 10 seconds here for stations to identify themselves on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Tonight on KDUS AM 1060, Phoenix Rising Radio Network, streaming also on the Phoenix Rising social pages, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Kevin's got a Twitch. We're working on that one in the near future.
No.
Turning is below. We are still playing in this first half. Sacco has re-entered for Rising. Loudoun looked content to keep it. I don't know why the whistle hasn't gone yet. Middle Park Skundrick finds Learman. Looking long, the former Pitt Panther. Pushing it high into the feet of Keegan Tingey. Off the shoulder of Darius Johnson. And because we've continued to play, Loudoun United have won a corner kick in the closing moments. of the first half. Still no pair of whistles to bring us to the break. Florian Valot will take the long walk all the way on over. Did you see that movie yet?
I have seen it, actually.
It was good.
It was really good. Much better than him.
I didn't see that one. I don't want to.
Not worth it.
Yep. Valot to serve. Will swing away from Rakovsky. From the right side in front of the south end again. Loudon looking to double their advantage well into stoppage time in the first half. Good ball. Headed away by Shihus. All eyes looking to the referee. Now he can't blow it because Phoenix are on the break. And Remy Cabral is running forward into trouble. He is taken to ground. Who is the guilty party? It is Florian Valot. A clear yellow card for Florian Valot makes it the 6th of the first half. And now we will continue to play as Hope Aviyevu is down on the ground. Shihus is barking orders as Rising search for their set-piece opportunity. Remember, folks, we had a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. We are now into the 9th.
My original guess was quadrupled. That's awesome.
It's good math. Shihus will take this, by the way. Not using his big body to get up and find the ball. He'll play it short. Colin Smith, are Rising playing with their food here? The answer is yes. And now Florian Valot can counter for Loudon. Albuquerque looks to the sideline, and now Valot is racing 4-on-3. Loudon United, whipped wide. Kwame Awuah, first time back in the net. It's flicked on through by a Loudon United forward. And in the 10th minute of injury time, pretty much, Loudon United grabbed their second. And I do not think Pamadou Ka will let that one go lightly when 2 whistles come across and we go to halftime. Loudon get their second as we await the goal scorer. They double their lead on the road.
I think pretty much everyone is shocked. The clock just hit 54 minutes up on the big board. Playing into the 55th, we're 10 minutes over, 7 minutes over the allotted time of 3 minutes that we were given initially. Sure, there were a few stoppages. This is fairly ridiculous, Ryan. I don't think I've ever seen a time discrepancy like this. And it's not even like we had a 5-minute break in the middle. We had, I'd say, maybe 2. I'm shocked as I sit here.
So I'm sure this ball will get kicked off, and then we will instantly hear 2 whistles. Customarily so, there is the 2. It is worth noting before we go to break, you never want to pick on a referee. Media does have the opportunity to question the league about refereeing decisions. I'm sure that one will come up on the Phoenix side of things. The goal belongs to Ben Mines, assisted by Kwame Awuah. And so it's 2-0 Loudon with a goal and an assist from the Virginians' number 20, Ben Mines, Kevin.
I'm at a loss for words, Ryan. That is a brutal goal to concede at the end. You thought you had it so many times. Phoenix concedes a second in the 9th minute, the 54th total of play in that first half. It is a brutal beat for Phoenix, who had a chance on the counter. They had a free kick in the attacking half. Rafa ushered everybody forward, and they played with their food. They played 3 short passes, lost the ball, and gave it up on the counter. That is poor play from Phoenix. It's a poor first half, and they're right where they were just a week ago on the road in Sacramento. That was not the first 45 they wanted. Now it's time to try to replicate what happened a week ago on the road in the second half.
That is the silver lining, isn't it? The same deficit for Phoenix this week as the last, as they trail 2-0 at the break here from 38th in Washington. We'll step aside with a message from our sponsors, come back for the halftime report here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
As Uzuchukwu's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th in Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tire simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Now we go back to the field to break down the first half action with the Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Nothing Loudon at the break here tonight on KDUS AM 1060 and the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez, Casey Smith here for the Rising Radio Halftime Report. The end of that first half is really probably the story, despite Loudon certainly, I think, deserving to lead 1-0. 2-0 may be harsh because of the extensive amount, almost 10 minutes of stoppage time we saw in the first 45 minutes, Kev.
It's brutal. There was stoppage in the stoppage time for sure. The board came up a minute late. We expected to play probably 4 minutes of extra time. We didn't expect to play 10. I don't think anybody thought that. The board came up. It came up a little late due to an injury right when the board was supposed to go, so they probably added an extra minute there. It is a brutal, brutal beat for Phoenix, but the truth is that Phoenix couldn't afford it, and Phoenix had their chances. There was a spill in front of the mouth of the net from Hugo Faru. There were chances where they crossed into the heart of the penalty area, and there was nobody there. Phoenix manufactured opportunities to create chances, but couldn't actually get the chances to come to fruition, and now they are in the exact same spot that they were in 7 days ago. They are on the chase by 2 goals in the second half, and they have massive questions to answer. They have a very professional bench tonight. They have an opportunity to shake and move, but do they have the juice to do it again?
Casey, any differential of opinion for you there on what Kevin just said?
No, I think Kevin hit the nail on the head. There needs to be more connectivity from the forwards, particularly Darius Johnson. He's been a guy that is typically going to create a lot of chances for this Rising squad, but we haven't seen it. When I look at the stat sheet, I only see 5 total shots for Rising. I'm surprised because I feel they've had so many more chances to really test this Loudoun side, who, by the way, has given up so many goals.
Hi, Casey. Thanks, partner. So, when you look at this, where can Phoenix go? Down 2-0, same as last week. There's rapport and history to call upon, but what's the formula back for Rising?
The formula is Charlie Dennis, and I feel like the answer has often been Charlie when they've needed a little spark. And the truth of the matter is, Ryan, I think that Charlie Dennis is more suitable as an 8 in this league. I think that Charlie Dennis is that midfield piece that they need. They're still not fluid through that midfield block. They're still not completely cohesive from the first third to the final third. They need a guy like Charlie Dennis to be out there to fill the gaps and glue the holes and be the guy to thread the needle.
Pa Maduka usually says they want to get him closer to goal, and that's why they play him as a winger. But do you really think he can be more impactful and still get close to goal as an 8?
Why do you need Charlie Dennis close to goal when you have Isan Sako, Remy Cabral, and Darius Johnson in the same starting 11? Those are 3 guys that are already close to the goal. We don't play a front 4. We don't have a false 9. We have a striker. We have 2 wingers. Let Charlie Dennis feed the ball to a potent front 3. Remy Cabral is firing. Isan Sako is firing. Darius Johnson is a spark plug. Let Charlie Dennis do what he is exactly best at. Play through the middle, weave through traffic, find his front 3. That will be the opportunity to stake 2 goals.
So he's the one to watch at the break for Phoenix Rising, who trail by 2-0 against Loudoun United at home. We'll get you some scores from around the league and some stats from this one here on the other end of this break on the Rising Radio Halftime Report.
Suzuchukwu's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL Champions.
Burst of red smoke! Phoenix Rising, our home! Welcome to 38th and Washington!
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
You're listening to the Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
So let's get you some scores from around the league. Look at the scoreboard from the USL Championship here on September the 20th, Saturday, late in the season. 6, for some teams, unironically 7 games to go in the USL Championship season. It was a weird one today between Hartford and Pittsburgh. Riverhounds winning 2-1. Chase Boone gets the winner in the 89th. Hartford had to issue a statement online. You can go to their Twitter page and read it for yourself. There was some weird stuff that happened at the end of that game. Hartford losing, kind of ending their torrid run of form. Lexington, Forster Ajago scores in the 74th minute to beat Detroit City away from home as the Kentucky side continue to rise in the West. 2-2 between Tampa and North Carolina. 95th minute, Olex Anderson scores to equalize on the road for Carolina. Rising will play them a little bit later on in the season. Just a couple of games left. Lou City dominated 10-man Vegas 3-1. Colorado Springs do not score at home. Lose 2-0 to a red-hot Sacramento Republic. Lewis Jamison and Russell Cicerone scoring for the second consecutive game as well. Gets Sacramento ever closer to playoff confirmation. San Antonio 3, Orange County 1. That's a big win for Rising because Orange County is the closest competitor behind Phoenix. So OC's loss will keep Rising in the playoff spots no matter what tonight. Charleston 2-0 over El Paso, who are wilting a little bit down the closing stretch. 2-0 at the half between Phoenix and Loudoun. Oakland, this is a bit of a concern. Oakland leading Western Conference leaders Tulsa 1-0, 51st minute. Peter Wilson continues his scoring run to give the Roots the lead. Rising will play Oakland next right here at home in what will be the most important game of Phoenix's season, bar none. 0-0 between Monterey Bay and New Mexico United at halftime before Javier Lottie scored 3 minutes into the second half to give the Crispin Kelp a lead at home at the 51st minute there. Phoenix trailing 2-0. We will step aside for 90 seconds and come back for the second half in just a moment here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
You're listening to the Rising Radio Halftime Report on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Both teams wanted to get ahead of the break here at this halftime spot, so we are already underway despite normal proceedings for us in the halftime show. Phoenix has the ball. They've made a couple of changes. We will update you on those in just a moment. Rising trailing 2-0 at the break here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Marcelo Senge is still out there on the pitch for Phoenix Rising. He's whipped it wide for Isan Sako. And Sako ducking, darting, playing into the feet of Noble Okello. Back for Sako, right side, attacking third. And back it goes for one of the substitutes into the game for Phoenix, Pop Marboy. Carl Saint is also into the game for Rising as they make 2 changes at the 45th minute. Cleared away by Loudon on a long cross in by Okello, all the way out of touch for a throw on the left side. Ryan Segura, Kevin Cardez, Casey Smith is down there with us. He'll get some updates. Kevin, it looks like Rafa Shihus has exited the game, and I can't tell you who the other one is.
Is it
Hope?
Danny? No, Hope's out there.
Is he?
Yeah,
I
far
don't-
left side.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Is it Danny?
Danny Flores has left the game. So Rising have maybe clearly gone back 3 here?
I think they've gone back 3. Carl Fred Saint, Pop Marboy, and Acela Senge. This is going to be your back 3 chase. This is what they did months ago against El Paso Locomotive when they needed a big spark to get back in a game where they were down 3 goals at one point. They came all the way back and tied 4-4. This is the exact same formation.
A hospital pass from Okello put Skierce under pressure. Skierce clearing it, Loudon winning it. You're right. Last time Phoenix really played a back 3 in this kind of a game was the 4-4 draw, match day 2 against El Paso Locomotive. Ball in behind from Avievu, Cabral running onto it, Keegan Tingy collecting it. Back for Hugo Faru, and long goes the Frenchman. Touched by Pop Marboy, who is wearing the captain's armband now for Phoenix. Pop skipping, slides the ball along the floor for Senge. Acela Senge. Acela Senge still into the box, wide for Sako, top of the area, Okello. Heavy touch from Noble. And one by Loudon, but one back by Saint. This back 3 may favor amongst everybody on the pitch for Phoenix, Acela Senge the most. Up from Avievu, into the box for Okello, poor touch from him, slipping and sliding on the ground. It's a goal kick.
Phoenix has been suffocating through the first couple minutes, and this is what the back 3 does. They are so offensively talented, Ryan. It's something we've talked about ad nauseum this season. They know how to score goals when they have the people out there to go score them. But with the back 4, you're inherently taking a person outside of that realm. You lose a Colin Smith, you lose a Danny Flores, you start to play in the back 3. Things start to shift a little bit, and we were wrong. I'm pretty sure Flores is out there. So it was Smith.
There we go, Colin Smith. The world is hard to navigate sometimes from the booth here at 38th and Washington. We've got 6 eyes, 3 sets of eyes up here. And none of us could find it. Daniel Flores is out there, Senge, Marboy, Saint, Skierce, Okello, Avievu, Cabral, Johnson, Sako. Is Isan Sako the right wing back, or is it a real back 4 with Senge just as a right back? We'll give it a second.
Impossible to tell.
We'll let Kevin watch for a little while and see if his expert eyes can come up with something.
I'll give it my best attempt.
Ben Mines has it for Loudon. He's got a goal and an assist today. Stopped on a dime by Zach Ryan, Kimi Ordonez, Florian Velo, McCabe. Backward he goes for Giannis Learman.
Great movement.
They're so good at that. The simple, subtle changes of tempo. Ball in behind, Ordonez collecting it. He came from an offside position. 50th minute, 2-0. Rakovsky. Boy. Senge clipping long. Awua having to defend Sako under duress. Out of touch for a throw. That could be a fun matchup. The high placement of Isan Sako now with support behind him. Kwame Awua, who likes to foray as far up the pitch as humanly possible for a left back. Avievu, Carl Saint, the Haitian, wide it goes. Flores still out there. Saint lobbing up. Avievu more active on the ball. Flores across. Nodded away by Learman. Kept by Rising. Skierce, Avievu, Darius Johnson, Flores again. Phoenix, back they go. Saint, supported by Skierce. Saint, Carl Saint, lifting in. Had Cabral, touched away, claimed by Peru. Goalkeeper for Loudon's been busy to start this second half. Still no shots on target though for Phoenix. And Daniel Flores is on the ground.
Craig Spence immediately hopped up off, and now he's going to make the run over to Danny Flores, who's struggled to complete full 90s at times so far in his tenure with Phoenix Rising, on loan from Chivas and Tapatio, but he's had issues staying and playing full games, especially at home in this heat, and it's hard to get adjusted to, especially in the middle of the season when you don't have a preseason to play, you don't have that time to train in the heat, and you see the effects, the cramping in the calves, the cramping in the quads. That's the big problem that Flores has faced so far.
He's yet to finish a game in the championship. 5 starts, now 6 today. He's been subbed off 5 times. He's averaging about 65 minutes a game. Daniel Flores down on the ground. Second half so far, Phoenix. You know, we're only in the 7th minute of the second half, but Rising have had 90% of the ball.
It's a good chunk.
Casey Smith is down there on the touchline. He's telling us that Emil Quayshow may be coming on. Sion Emmers also has a shirt on. I think it's going to be Emmers that's the first change they make. They may sit Quayshow back down. Quayshow did sit back down. Now he has his shirt on, and he is getting ready to go. So 2, we think, midfielders now for Phoenix. Emil Quayshow the last couple weeks has been out of the team. Started the year as a left back.
Well, I think he could replace Flores here if that's the swap. If Flores can't continue and he's still laying on his back on the ground, you bring in Quayshow, probably tuck him in, and you really do chase as a back 3. Emmers and Quayshow to me signify one thing, Ryan. It's we are going to go get 2 goals by any means possible, even if that means conceding a 3rd.
Emmers for who?
Emmers for Noble. That's my immediate guess. I think that Noble's been fair tonight. He's had good challenges, good tackles. He's made a few good passes. He's kept the ball on the half turn a few times. He's been strong through the middle. Still looking for that perfect performance, that staple match that he gets in Rising Red, but tonight was improvement.
He's in a double pivot right now, it would appear. I think Avayevu is almost playing as a second striker more than anything else. It's almost like a 3-2-5. Like, yes, that's the attacking shape that everybody wants to get into, but it almost feels like that's what Phoenix's
building in.
Base shape is. Okello will come off. He'll be replaced by Sion Emmers. So 54 minutes in the end for the Canadian Noble Okello. Sion Emmers coming in, the Belgian, with a busy body. Plenty of movement to him.
Flores takes a yellow card off the pitch as well for Rising. Got a caution in the first half, so now Rafa is the only one on the pitch so far.
Rafa got taken off.
Yeah, Rafa's gone too, so there's no yellow cards on the pitch for Phoenix, and I think that's important. 6 came out of the pocket in the first half. The center referee, Albuquerque, so avoiding a possible second yellow and a red card, which would almost certainly doom this game to its end, be a final nail in a coffin. We're only 54 through. That'd be a tough one to overcome.
Rising have made 4 changes in less than an hour of this game. It is probably the biggest story at the start of the second half. A long ball from Faru, won by Emil Quayshow, and Rising have possession. Pop Marboy, Rakovsky, Saint, Quayshow. Avayevu, Skiers, JP Skiers jumping forward into a challenge. All fair from Loudon as they win it back. Ordonez, Velo, and Kimi Ordonez. And wide for Awuat, tracking back is Sacco for Phoenix. Isan Sacco shoving through, winning a throw.
That's quality from Nino there to tuck back in and make the forward charge to push the ball out, but keep it in touch. Off of Loudon, now Phoenix has a chance to build to the back. I still think they're in a pack 4.
Emil Quayshow, he lost out. Lots of contact.
Another yellow.
Loudon, I believe, made a change at halftime too. We are getting caught up to all of this. That is Omari Glasgow.
Zach Ryan came off for him.
So Omari Glasgow has come into the game more of a wide player than Zach Ryan is.
So much for no yellows. Emil Quayshow picked up a yellow card from that altercation just about a minute into his stint. So we have a caution on the pitch for Phoenix.
Folks, we really apologize. The eyes are struggling tonight to see the substitutions. Florian Velo will take the free kick. Glasgow just snuck on the pitch. Dangerous one for Loudoun United. Up there in the sky, back post for Learman, away by Skeers, second chance Mines, flicked along by Tingy. Tingy still, Johnson sees it out for Phoenix, and a foot race, Emmers and Velo. Velo wins it. McCabe. Tommy McCabe, vice captain for Loudoun, leads the team in passes this year. He has been quieter tonight, not had to do as much. Phoenix has had more of the ball, so that's maybe why, Kev, but he has not been quite the metronomic presence that he typically is, as Loudoun elect to go long, which they've done plenty tonight.
When your double pivot doesn't have to get involved in the build, I mean, both goals have been off of the counter for Loudoun. There's not a whole lot for Skundrich or for McCabe to do. You just sort of negate any of that work that they have to do. I mean, it's tough, but Loudoun gets bailed out here.
Sacco stepping up and stepping in on the right side, now in the center of the park. He whips it wide, attacking third. Emil Quacio on it, making his first appearance since August 9th against Lexington. Over a month for the Argentine. Saint, Skeers, and Emmers dropping in to dictate the tempo. The Belgian, head up, wide it goes. Asenge, who I think you're right, Kevin, is playing pretty firmly as a right back for Phoenix in this game. Skeers in the center circle, Saint in the same space, left half space. He'll step up the Haitian. Cabral bouncing about, won by Learman. Loudoun have it. Glasgow. Skundrich. Ordonez, head is up, ball is wide. Awua, won by Skeers. Chance for Rising to counter. Cabral is in the area. Sacco is on it. Aveyevu's overlapping. Aveyevu's received it at the byline. Cut out quickly by Loudoun United. 58th minute, 2-0 to the visitors. Again, a sliding challenge from Skeers. Crossing quickly to the back post for Johnson, who put Loudoun under pressure and will win the first corner kick of the second half for Phoenix.
That's good work from JP Skeers to keep everything alive. It's good work from Aveyevu to get there in time, but now Phoenix starts to work, and they've been the aggressors in the second half. Converting here on this corner kick changes the entire game, Ryan.
Loudoun United with goals in the 9th minute and the 9th minute of stoppage time in the first half. To hold a 2-0 advantage, outswinging ball coming from Phoenix Rising's Emil Quacio. 59th minute. Down by a pair. Quacio to serve away from Faru, up for Asenge, flick to the back post. Marboy kept it alive, his shot was awful. Ball was just rolling away from him. He couldn't do much but try and get around it. And it's a goal kick for Loudoun.
Ryan Sikora, ever gentle on the description. That was a terrible shot there from Pop Marboy. That one soared right up and over. Tried to volley it, but couldn't find the top bins. Instead found a few fans in the Bandido section of tonight's game. It's been just one of those nights, Ryan.
In fairness to the Senegalese, yeah, harsh, but yeah, maybe an apt description, not a great shot. Tough angle.
He's a center back. He doesn't score goals.
Yeah, just
even though
like
he wants
Kevin. Faru, a ball over the top, too far for Awua.
I score goals.
U6? Right now, 20-year-old you against 6-year-olds, you score goals, yeah?
It could be tough comp.
Boy on the ball.
Really?
Much further away from the goal. Saint is on it.
To me, I'm puzzled by the shape to make Asenge a right back, because I feel like you sort of waste the introduction of Carl Fred Saint, who could play sort of more outswinging roles, but instead of letting one of your center backs play wide, you lose that ability because you're playing in a back four.
Emmers clipping long, Sacco getting on it. Offside. Flag flies from Bennett Savage. Free kick Loudoun in their own half. But Asenge is good enough on the ball to maybe play in that right back spot. He leads Phoenix in touches this year. He is the hub for this Rising side. But to your point, now you have two players like that on the pitch. That's a little redundant, maybe.
It is redundant, and I think that's sort of the issue, because Rafa was doing all right. I think that's the big question for me, is if this was the shape change, I don't know why you went away from two true central center backs. Throw Carl Fred Saint in there, who has been good as a center back in 2025.
Given away by Emmers, one back by Skeers. Bailed out his midfield partner. Saint Slipped as he strung one long. Cut out by Awua. Skundrick, head is up. Ball is wide. Racing in his tingy to the back post. Ordonez was running. Mines was there too. Out for a throw. Didn't take a touch off a Rising player. And it is out for a Phoenix throw and a substitution for Loudoun United. Off will go Ben Mines, and a very encouraging sign for the Virginians as they race towards the playoffs. It is Abdulatif Abukora who will come into the game for Loudoun United to play his 20th game of the year. His first appearance in the championship in which he has not started. He has 11 goals on the season, the leading scorer for the away side. That is a big add as he gets fitter heading in to this home stretch of the season, Kevin Cardes.
I mean, what better time to enter a guy like Abdulatif Abukora, who has scored 11 goals already in 2025 on top of a 2-0 lead for the visitors. Well, how about 30 minutes at the end of the game? That's a sort of the story of the Phoenix Rising season. This guy hasn't played in a while, and just like every other team that's come in and sort of righted the ship here at 38th and Washington, now you get one of the most lethal, potent goal scorers in the entire championship, making his debut for the first time in a long time against Phoenix Rising. Just one of those years.
He's had 11 goals, but he hasn't scored since June 25th because of all the injuries. That's his longest drought of the season. Emmers turning, tucking, throwing one long for Cabral. Dealt with well by Learman. Last thing on Abukora, he has the best name in the league. And that is not necessarily because of what his name is, but what it translates to. His name literally translates to father of the ball. He is the ball father.
He's the ball father.
He is the ball father. Is that not fabulous?
It's fabulous, Ryan.
Especially when he's good. Boy, skipping a line. Emmers finding a good space. He's been good on the ball. And on it plenty to start this second half. The Senge ducks beyond Abukora, who's defending for the first time tonight. The Senge spins back. And now it's with Pop Boy.
Poor Senge gets swarmed there and looks for an option for about 15 seconds with the ball at his boots and a defender on his hip the entire time, asking somebody to make some sort of run so he can slice a pass, and nobody bites. And he has to play back from our boy, and now Phoenix loses the ball in the middle of the pitch.
Skundrick, Glasgow, Omari, forward for Ordonez. Tucked out my boy. And now Sacco. Phoenix are 3-on-4. If Sacco can make the decision in time, he has a Senge cross his port. Ball was maybe just too close to the Cameroonian's feet. But in the end, in the 64th minute, Rising's attack is has plenty of flaws. I almost said flawless, but it had a million flaws to it in the end.
If it was hump day, Ryan would be right. That would have been a flawless attack. Asenge gets sort of just eaten up there by the pitch monster. It's not even a turf monster. This is a real grass field. And falls on himself. The cross is poor. Hits the side netting. Phoenix doesn't even create an opportunity to make something happen off of that counterattack. It's moments like those you look back in the film room after this is all said and done as that could have been something.
Good pressure from Rising. They win it high. Johnson has it. Dips beyond a pair of Loudoun defenders. Skierce into the space. Good move from Rising. A chance to score for Quayshow. A huge save from Hugo Faru. And the other way come the visitors. It was a great move from the left flank for Phoenix, who moved it into the pitch and then found the run of Emil Quayshow, who couldn't quite finish it off. Hugo Faru with a great save. Other way come Loudoun still in the attacking third. Glasgow, one touch. Head is up, head is struck. And it's driven wide of Patrick Rakonski's post. That's the first shot given up in this half by Phoenix Rising. Casey Smith, the defense down there, has looked pretty organized to you up until that moment.
Yeah, it was the first shot that they've given up in the second half compared to 8 in the first. When you're down 2-0, obviously you're going to be thinking about scoring, but Rising has gone for a defensive approach in substitutions, bringing on Pop Marboy, Carl Fred Saint, and Emil Quayshow. Obviously they're going to need to score goals, but if they give up any, it'll spell defeat for them, so they've got to keep that defense intact the rest of the way.
Avievu wide for DJ, just behind Darius Johnson, who is racing into the box, as he does. Ordonez turning well. This game is just going to become a track meet, I think, the rest of the way. Kev, Rising have had 70% of the ball in this second half. Glasgow, who fits well in a track meet vibe, but Quayshow just cut him off. Great defending from the substitute. Goal kick one for Phoenix.
That's good defending there from Emmy, just to get there in time, show off the ball, not do too much, not play it back in a dangerous spot for your goalkeeper. Now restart from the back and build through the back four that has settled into the game. Played well defensively so far through the first 15 minutes. Now can you find something in front of the mouth of the net? None of this matters if you can't score a goal. None of it does.
Avievu is on it for Rising, dancing onto his right foot, squaring at the center. Cabral, heavy touch. Charlie Dennis still not on the pitch for Phoenix. You thought you might see him early on in the second half. We've played 20 minutes of the second half. Still 2-0 Loudon. Phoenix only have one more change to make. They brought on Pop Marboy, Carl Saint, Xian Emmers, and Emil Quaisho. Marcellus Senge has a throw. And his foot came up. The old U12. Senge just trying to throw it as far and as hard as he could. He let that trail foot, that right foot, come up in the air. And that is an illegal throw. There's a Loudon player down. It is Hugo Farou in his own 6-yard box, the goalkeeper. Referee will stop play in the 67th minute to check up on it.
I was just about to ask you, when does Formella come on? When does Charlie Dennis come on? And I think Charlie Dennis. Yeah, you can't. And that's a tough equation because to me, you need a guy like Formella on the pitch. You need to hold up 9, but Charlie Dennis is going to be the one to take the mantle.
Charlie's going to come into this game. You'd have to think means Isan Sako is the number 9 now?
Yeah, you play Charlie Dennis out on the wing. Sako slides up as the sole 9. You keep Darius Johnson off as the winger as well. That's your chance.
Charlie Dennis in a vacuum, though, the better player. Makes sense when you want difference makers like this in the game, just a different profile than Formella, who's more of, as you say, the hold-up number 9.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is that Emmers theoretically could play as a winger too. So if the idea is that you need a guy in midfield at some point, Dennis could drop in and Emmers could shade out and you could play him wide. They brought in Emmers from Rapid Bucharesti, and he's a noted box-to-box midfielder. That's what they brought him in as. And I feel like this system hasn't really played to his strengths, if that makes sense. There's no real room for a box-to-box 8 in this team. That's not really how they play. But now, if Emmers plays out wide and you throw that sort of shot out of a cannon vibe he brings to the pitch when he gets on and just chases after the ball and runs so hard and loves to be in space and attack and be aggressive defensively, you let Charlie Dennis shade in and start to work through those little interweaving lines that we talked about at halftime. There's a chance for them to create something right down the middle, which is what they're lacking, because right now, Ryan, these crosses into the center of the box just aren't doing anything.
69th minute, 2-0 Loudon.
Nice.
Charlie Dennis has replaced Remy Cabral, who did very little today, it felt like, from this play-by-play broadcaster's perspective.
Just this guy's perspective, though.
Yours?
Nah, not much.
I was going to say.
Just this color commentator's perspective, though.
He had 19 touches.
That seems grand.
70 minutes, and that was more than I thought there'd be. So Isan Sako has gone to play as the number 9. Charlie Dennis has taken his place on the right wing. Good pressure from Rising. Hope Avievu is looking up. He's found Charlie wide. Charlie Dennis cleared away at the first post. A scissor kick away from goal by Learman. And Loudon the other direction. Tingy, Glasgow, and looking for Tingy again. Saint is beaten to the ball by Keegan Tingy. Ordonez is arriving in the box. Tingy's cut it back. Glasgow, Velo, Omari Glasgow. Good stuff from Loudon. Crossed up and kept out by Pop Marboy. Wide for Abu Kora, still with Loudon United. Abdulatif Abu Kora. Shunting inward, defended by Emmers. Nowhere to go but backwards. Skundrick. Below. Flo Velo. Finds its way to Learman. Giannis Learman can shoot from here. Learman into Ordonez. Turning is Kimi Ordonez. Kimi Ordonez, what a stop by Pat Rakowski. In the 70th minute, Pat Rakowski from 5 yards out stops Loudon United's number 9 and keeps Phoenix Rising within some semblance of touching distance here. Great save with his feet.
That's so timely, so tidy from Patrick Rakowski. Stays on his line. Kick save I'd say 6 yards away from what would have been the third goal for Loudoun. Just beautiful from Patrick, keeping Phoenix in the game in some way or shape or form.
Visitors are readying another change, but they will take this corner first. Below short to Abukora, defended by Aviyevu. Abdulatif Abukora rolling it back for Florian Velo. Abdulatif Abukora dancing with Sako. Abukora, 11 goals on the season. Abukora forced a shot, and Rising won it defensively. Aviyevu, good first-time ball, is just shy of the run of Johnson. Won by Loudoun. First time, Abukora, overlapping run Velo. Velo is going to get it. He's onside, crossing in. Saint sees to it, and Marboy is on it, skipping a line for Aviyevu. In their own third, Phoenix feeling some pressure from the league leader in final third takeaways. Loudoun are the best in the league at pressuring teams in their own half, and they do earn another here. Won by McCabe, Velo, and Skundrick, and then Awua. This is a Loudoun team that just plays so constantly, Kevin, on the same wavelength, with or without the ball.
They haven't wavered a single minute in this game, Ryan. There hasn't been one moment where they haven't been on the same page, where they haven't had the same idea, where the game plan has had to shift. They have played Ryan Martin football from start to finish. It's what Phoenix is aspiring to do, and Loudoun is putting on a clinic.
It's been a multi-year project in Northern Virginia that has gotten them to this point, third in the Eastern Conference, chasing a home playoff game. First, though, here comes Phoenix in the 72nd. Asenge securing a corner kick for Rising. Again, Ryan Martin in his 7th season, the general manager before this year that was let go at the middle of the year, had been there for 4+ years. This is a group that returned 85% of their minutes from 2024, Loudoun did, a league best number. That is why they're so constantly at the same level, left, right, and center. Corner kick for Rising, Charlie Dennis to take. All the big bodies up there for Phoenix. It's a good delivery up for Pop Marboy. Missed on by everybody. And Glasgow cannot keep it in touch. Throw in Rising, attacking third. Kevin, in this second half, Phoenix 21 final third entries to Loudoun's 12.
It's been one of those nights where Loudoun has just clogged the box. No matter which way they're going, shins have been there at the direction of every single cross that Phoenix has fired. And that has been the issue. They can't actually enter the final third. Maybe the ball's getting there, but Loudoun is immediately booting it clear. They're not spending time in the box.
Riley Bijois will come into the game for Loudoun United. Makes his 16th substitute appearance of the year. It's a top 10 mark in the championship. Phoenix have it. Aviyevu in the corner, far side, left side. Kicked off a Loudoun defender. Rising another throw. Played short, Emmers. Quayshow. Nowhere to go for Emil Quayshow, and he's going to commit a foul in the process. 74th minute, 2-0 Loudoun on a night where Rising have had 59% of the ball, 0 shots on target. Plenty of blocks in there from Loudoun. Almost double United's passes in the opposition half this game. Charlie Dennis fouls Kwame Awua. Could be a very curious conversation post-game as it stands between us and Darnell King here on the Rising Radio post-game show presented by Crown Public House. Abukora on his right, cutting in, wanted Bijois. Ordonez was the man who exited, by the way, for Riley Bijois. Andrew Skundrick. Shoulder-to-shoulder challenge is poorly done by Loudoun's number 12. It will be a free kick for Phoenix. Hope Aviyevu dropping deep, staying busy. It would be Rising's first loss in 5 games in the league. They had come in 3 straight draws and had 4 draws and a win in its last 5 games. They were the only team unbeaten in the Western Conference in its last 5. Now, again, they had only collected 7 points from that span, which was third best in the league, but third best is better than third worst. Quayshow coming forward, fair challenge by Glasgow. And Skundrick in trouble, Skier's got it back, Quayshow now has it. He's kicked it towards Darius Johnson, 76th minute, 2-goal lead for Loudon. DJ on the run, we can see him do this often. He tried to find Avievu. Press is triggered for Phoenix, Loudon solved the puzzle. Find Omari Glasgow on the right side in his own half. Quayshow chasing, Quayshow fouling? Yes. Quiet whistle, big shrug from Emil Quayshow. The motion is mimicked by the referee as if to say, your shrug, I'm shrugging yours. A very clear foul.
You shrug, I shrug, we all shrug. And that's just one of those ones, man. Like, it's that the officiating tonight has been tough at times. It's been let it play at others. That is just the tempo of the game. It's been how Loudon has dictated it. Yep. When they've wanted to go, Loudon has gone. When Phoenix has wanted to go, Loudon has sat on their heels and defended as well as they could. It has been Loudon United's game, and the referee has let it roll that way, which is completely fair because Loudon United has played a great first 77.
Good bounce back from the red and black so far after the 5-2 defeat last week to San Antonio. Bijois stepping upward, defended by Quayshow, out of touch. Corner kick. Went off of Emil Quayshow's left foot. Take a look at the live standings here. Now, in the Eastern Conference, Loudon United, thanks to North Carolina's draw today, has currently gone 3 points clear with a game more played for third place in the East. Cross coming in, Abukora to serve, falls for Skundrick. Maybe McCabe. It was Tommy McCabe. It was lasered, but just a little to the right of Rakowski's goal, out for a goal kick. Loudon 40 points, now 5 points clear of Hartford for that home playoff spot in the East that they are ever so hoping to claim. Phoenix in the West, well, still 7th, just where they entered the day. A game more played than Colorado Springs Switchbacks in 8th on the same amount of points. Orange County have played 2 games less than Rising on 29 points, and Orange County hold the tiebreaker over Phoenix thanks to a thrashing at Championship Soccer Stadium in the middle of summer. So Phoenix are going to try and avoid Orange County at all costs in terms of being on level playing field for them. Oakland Roots is up to 26 points. It'll be a 6-pointer next week for both of these teams, Phoenix and Oakland, no matter the result in this game tonight, whether Rising can come back and win or draw or lose. Wide for Charlie Dennis from Potmore Boy. Heavy touch from the Englishman. Charlie tucking in on Awua. Charlie Dennis on his preferred left foot, racing into 2. Good strong challenge from Kwame Awua. Dennis still has it. Pushes it wide. 79th minute. Feet of Quayshow. Crosses blocked by Glasgow. Throw in Phoenix. Left side attacking third.
Every time there's a little juice, Ryan, the Loudon player is there to block with his shins, to block with his knee, to block with his chest, to block with his head. They are not actually entering the box. They are just getting the ball to the edge of it. They're just hovering inside of it before Loudon stomps it out. This corner kick right here is as organic of an opportunity as they'll get all night long because Loudon is sitting so hard right now.
Will be swung out by Dennis. 10+ minutes left as this game reaching its conclusion. Good cross up for Moreboy, well defended by Loudon. Falls for Emmers, will cross it high, up for Moreboy again, wide. And cleared by United. Out for a throw. Rising will still have it in the attacking third. They have made 66 final third entries in this game, 20 touches in the opposition box. No goals. No shots on target despite all that action. 58% of the ball. In this second half, they've had 62% of it. Long throw, Avievu crossing hard, bouncing about, cleared away. Shot from Dennis, rattles around, it's in! I don't know who got the touch last. Doesn't matter to Phoenix. 2-1 at 38th in Washington, and Rising will let the red smoke fly in the south end. They make it very interesting now down the closing stretch. They trail by a goal. Who scored it? It was a strike from Charlie Dennis that bounced about off 2 white shirts And maybe on a clearance, it was rattled in off the post and the bar and the net. Chaos, but a goal for Phoenix as they chase this game down.
As violent of a goal that you can get, that ball rattled, it shook, it was shaking around, and finally gets cashed in. They now need to defend hard.
Ball coming back post, up for Abu Kora, missed by the Egyptian. Senge can't keep it in, he gave his all. Throw in for Loudoun United? No, throw in for Phoenix Rising. It was Sacco nearest to it for Phoenix.
Sacco and Hope are both there. It's hard to tell who really got there.
It has been officially ruled an own goal from Giannis Learman of Loudoun. Pamadou Ka just doesn't care. All business for the man in black tonight. His team better late than never, trying to make their way back into level footing. A point could maybe see Phoenix jump up to 6th. Wide it goes. Quayshow will keep it in touch. Loudoun defending with 10 behind the ball. Quayshow's cross was blocked on the way through. Kept alive by Johnson. Cleared away by Learman. It will stay in play for Saint, who finds Pop Marboy. 82nd minute. A goal in the 80th minute for Phoenix to offset 2 first-half finishes for the visiting Loudoun United. Dennis crossing, first post, whiffed, top of the box, and claimed by McCabe. Glasgow, Bijwa is running, head down. Amari Glasgow snuck up behind him, Quayshow did, and he's got it back for Phoenix. Looking long, under hit. It's not the ball Quayshow wanted to strike. Florian Velo will put his foot on the ball and keep it in play. Bijwa, the New Zealand U23 international. No finding. Johnson, he won it back for Phoenix. He's at midfield. Darius Johnson, diagonal ball. On the run is Charlie Dennis. Tripping up is Awua. And that is a foul. Charlie Dennis getting into a bit too much contact with Kwame Awua. We'll take a quick one here. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network as the train rolls by.
A huge result just rolled in too, Ryan. Colorado Springs officially dropping a 2-0 loss to Sacramento Republic, who Sacramento's pretty much made themselves unavailable at the top of the table at this point. They'll clinch a playoff spot soon enough. Colorado Springs, though, is still level, 31 points apiece with Phoenix Rising. They were at 1 point 2 games back, now just 1 game back in terms of games played. So that shrink from 2 games to 1 is really important for Phoenix because they could have watched Colorado Springs jump them up. And Orange County's also in the running, too, at 23 played. So that's a big result for Phoenix.
Back to this one as a long ball goes from Faru after the foul. Emmers flicking on for Phoenix as Rising look to regain possession. Marboy rising high. Down for Bijwa, below Abu Kora. Abdulatif Abu Kora, poor touch. Saint sees him out.
That's beautiful from Carl. I mean, he just shades off all the pressure, keeps the ball about 4 yards in front of the mouth of the net, and does everything perfectly to keep the ball with Phoenix. That is as textbook as it gets from Carl Fred Sant.
So on Rising's first shot on goal in the game, they technically score from it, not directly from it, because it is an own goal, but that shot creates the pressure. It's a Loudoun team that have been leaky as of late, conceded more goals than any team in the league this summer, post June 1st, 30 of them. It is also United's 11th goal conceded in the final quarter of an hour in games this year. League worst. So maybe there's another in this game for Phoenix. Could they really do it? Could they really come back 2 straight weeks?
I think they can.
From 2-0 down, Emmers wide for Charlie Dennis, who's been a difference in this game. Charlie up there, headed away, Garrison Tubbs. Glasgow touching down, pressured by Quayshow. Got to be careful, Emil Quayshow. Cleared away by Omari Glasgow. 12 shots to 12. 3 on target for Loudoun. They've scored 2. One for Phoenix, who've had 59% of the possession tonight. Rising, as it stands, a goal would earn them their 4th consecutive draw for the first time since 2019. Long pause. Rakowski's going to go have a conversation with one of the assistant referees as an injury to Kwame Owuwa, the left back for Loudoun. United readying a pair of changes. Bolu Akinyode is set to come in, make his first appearance for the Virginians. He will replace Florian Valot, that's center back for attacking player. And Robbie Dambrot, who is another center back, is going to come into this game, as well as Ryan Martin, seeing very clearly that he would like to shut up shop and go home early.
Rather than park the bus, let's parallel park it. That's what Ryan Martin's thinking here. Let's get out of here with the 2-1 lead. Let's back it in and have an easy exit once we have to leave. They're going to throw everything at the wall. They've already done that so far, Ryan. They've sat so low. They've stacked bodies in front of the mouth of the net. They've made it so hard to score. It needed an own goal for Phoenix Rising, although they forced the issue themselves. That wasn't one where it was a mistake played. It's on Phoenix now to break down probably their toughest test of the season.
You know, I didn't know where you were going with the parallel park thing, but in the end it was good.
Backing up on their heels.
87th, 2-1 Loudoun. Trying not to do what they did last game, blow a lead in the second half. Dambrot is in. Akinyode is in. 2 center backs for the Virginians, as they look to find 3 more points and find a fresh 40 on the season. They've got a throw, and it's won by Skiers. Off the restart, Loudoun. Saint under pressure, Glasgow. He's got it. He's not been able to get beyond Carl Saint. The 2 Caribbeans coming together, and Phoenix getting the better of it. Emmers, Darius Johnson, 88th minute, left side, under pressure, Akinyode away. Down in middle park, Skiers nodding, Quaisho moving, Johnson touching. Wide left again, his heels on the touchline. Dancing into the attacking third is DJ, another cross. Lumped in, Skiers struck, video board. Not goal, not 2 goals. You couldn't stack 2 on top of each other. Still 2-1.
Still think that's a Gaelic football point. That's pretty good from JP Skiers if he was overseas. I like that.
In the game. Maybe early on, I'd take one of those. We need, what's a goal in Gaelic football? Do you
put it
like
through the
3?
net. You put it through the, yeah, it's 3.
So we need 3 Gaelic football points at this point. Farouk going long, as he's done almost all night. Dambrot winning. Abukora trying to find it. Marboy could not keep it in. Throw in Loudoun United. Attacking half, 89th minute. Left side right in front of Ryan Martin. Looking to get his 8th win in the league this year. Sorry, 12th win of the league in the league this year.
It'd be all right.
Phoenix is 8th, that is correct. Bijwa flicking along. Abukora unable to keep it in touch. Last touched off a white shirt. A Senge throw. Loudoun en route to their best ever season, no matter how this one really finishes. They will break the club record for points assuredly. They will get into the playoffs for the first time in club history, maybe even host. Bad throw in from Asenge, and Saint has to foul Bijwa. Advantage not played. Skundrick had it, played a first-time ball into Glasgow, but the referee had blown his whistle already and really messed that one up for Loudoun. 90th minute, 2-1. The visitors in front thanks to 2 first-half goals.
Now it feels like all eyes are on the video board now on the touchline as well to see how much extra time goes up.
Up for Dambrot, down for Abukora towards the corner. Now he ventures away from it, slips one in for Robbie Dambrot. Pop Marboy meeting him and clearing it. Interesting how they're using Loudoun United is Robbie Dambrot in this game now since he's come on. Again, a center back by trade at 6'2", 180. It's been more of a left winger. Throws it in. Bijwa, big physical striker. Skundrick, Abukora. Emmers slipped through. Who to touch off of? Not a white shirt. 7 minutes of stoppage time.
Really?
The fourth official has indicated a 7 minutes of stoppage time will be added to our second half.
Into the corner for Bijois. Blocked by Scarce, who wanted a goal kick. He's never going to get that. Corner kick for Loudon, 91st minute. About 6 minutes minimum left to go in this game. Obviously, we had the long amount of stoppage time in the first half. We were only supposed to play 3. We ended up playing darn near 10.
It'd be funny now if we only played 3.
I don't think he can do that. Quite legally on his own accord.
Game's over.
Abukora. They'll keep it in the corner. Skundrick, now to Latif Abukora, left side. Akinyode, Glasgow. Backwards. This is good for Phoenix. They can pick up some territory. Darius Johnson will angle. Faroux will launch. Up in the air for Dambrot. Charlie Dennis wins it. A foot race. No foul. Great work from Sacco. Down on the ground is a Loudon defender who will get helped up by Darnell King. Actually, he's told not to touch Garrison Tubbs.
Pamodoka actually had a hold of his boot, was trying to work out the cramp before it even got going.
Good for him.
Man of the people.
92nd, 2-1 Loudon. Senge, Marboy. And Saint, center circle. 60 yards from goal. Rising needs one of those to find a point here tonight from 2-0 down for the second consecutive week in the championship. Pop Marboy looking long down the channel. He's got a Senge. Senge's won the first. Dennis has picked up the scraps. Charlie Dennis can only go backward. Pop
Need to access
Marboy.
Darius Johnson here.
Darius Johnson is screaming for it on the left. He has finally got it on a rifled ball off the feet of Saint. 93rd, DJ into the box, at the byline, crossing up. It was a chance. Just headed away by Loudon United. Good shout by Kevin. Marboy crossing firm off the face of, I think, Drew Skundrick. And that will give us a nice long stoppage, almost certainly. So we could see 100 minutes of play tonight. He's going to be down for a while.
Yeah, that was a stinging ball off the forehead of Drew there, but good things happen when you get the ball to the boots of Darius Johnson in crunch time. He's just somebody who's become accustomed to the moment, in my opinion. He was screaming for the ball. All of his space is open on his left side. All of the space is completely clogged on Charlie Dennis. When they try to move the ball from Pop Marboy down the touchline on the near-hand side, they are getting nowhere with it. Switch the run of play. Find Darius Johnson. Find your fastest player on the pitch. Let him move through, because that was exactly what they needed. That was a true chance. That they had an opportunity in front of the mouth of the net. Get something towards the nylon, and you can walk away with this one, at least thinking, hey, we gave ourselves a shot, because right now, you're just out of puncher's distance.
Keep an eye on the clock. It's almost already been 90 seconds since the Loudon midfielder went down. That would mean we would probably go to now the 99th minute of play. Loudon have already made 5 changes. You can be awarded a concussion substitution extra sub. It will be Moses Nyman, who has donned his boots and his whites to come onto this pitch.
That'd be a big break for Loudon. Phoenix can't throw anybody else on the pitch now. It's just the 11 that are out there are the 11 that will stay unless they get a similar situation. But I actually think that Drew's going to try to stay.
He's come off just for a moment. Nyman has walked back to the technical area. So Skundrick will come on. Loudon United have made the 2,270-mile journey, looking to escape with 3 points in Phoenix. We probably got stopped there for about 3 minutes. I think we'll probably get 2 of those back, is typically how it kind of works. Unwritten rule. Saint is on it for Phoenix on the restart. Saint up into the box, flicked through. Who did touch off last? It was off the head of J.P. Scarce for a goal kick. You've got Asenge, you've got Marboy, you've got Skierce, Saint as well. Charlie Dennis is a big boy. There's plenty of bodies up there to lump the crosses into. Everybody is shaded toward the near touchline, the left side of Loudoun for Hugo Farou's goal kick. 96th minute, 2-1, the visitors in front. Phoenix at home for the first of a 3-game homestand here on Hispanic Heritage Night. Avievu heavy touch, cut out by Garrison Tubbs, who's going to go the full game tonight in his first appearance in the championship for Loudoun. Played 1 game earlier this year in the Jägermeister Cup, his first stint on loan from DC. 97th minute. 2-1, Johnson run into, fairly so by Glasgow. Darius Johnson's down in a heap. It's 3-on-3 for Loudoun United. Omari Glasgow's looking up. He's lifted long. He has the ball, father. Abdulatif Abukora into the box for Bijwa. Poor touch, the ball was behind him. Avievu, first time, underneath the legs of the referee. Finds Asenge, then Emmers, then Avievu. 3-on-5 as Avievu abouts face and turns course. Dennis, Emmers, right side, rising in the attacking third. Charlie Dennis, almost for Emmers, just behind the Belgian. Cleared by Loudoun, only as far as Saint. 2-1 Loudoun United lead. Final moments of this second half. Quayshow into the box for Darius Johnson. Muscles off one defender, nods it back for Quayshow on his right. Clipping up, bouncing about, will fall for Phoenix. One is down in the box, he slipped, no foul. Abukora has it for Loudoun. We have done 97 minutes. We should play 2 or 3 more beyond the minimum. Bijwa, then Abukora. Loudoun on the counter, up for Glasgow. It will barrel its way, the ball will, to the corner. And Quayshow will come to defend it. Abukora now for the white shirts of Loudoun. Just outside the 18, strong challenge from Skierce. Finds Johnson, heavy touch, ran into Abukora. 2 rising players down as Akinyode has it for United. Wide it goes, Glasgow, and capped by the Virginians. Out of touch though, from Keegan Tingy.
Ryan Martin is screaming off of his...
For what?
area.
There was
I'm
a guy
not too
down,
sure.
Ryan. Mr. Martin, there was a player down for 3 minutes. If you want time, you need to stop your watch. I think we've got 2 minutes or so left in this game, partner.
I think we'll play into the 100th at least. We might play through it as well. Phoenix needs to go fast. I'm not too sure what happened in the penalty area. We're so far away from that other goal. It's hard to tell what happened, if somebody fell, if somebody took contact, but being awarded a penalty in the 98th is a tough bargain.
Charlie Dennis has been given a yellow card for dissent. He was complaining a little too much about said penalty shout, which I think Kevin is right. That would be harsh on a 50-50 type opportunity. Long stoppage, we will certainly get into the 100th now. Ryan Martin pacing, prodding, hoping to put his team 3 points to the good tonight. So far away from home. Johnson keeping it in touch. Cleared away by Akinyode. Glasgow as well. Throw in for Rising. They tried to go quick. They played it too close to the attacking third. And now there's a player down for Loudoun. They've earned the right at this point, in fairness.
It's a tough day to be a Band-Aid man. This is one where everybody's hit the turf at some point. It is a rough game out there. Both sides want it so bad.
Ryan Martin, who is likely to make his way out of this club at the end of the year. Parting ways, the longtime head coach in Northern Virginia. Does he have one more run in him? Up for Pop Marboy, a strike from Asenge, took a deflection. Out for a corner kick. Phoenix have a set piece in the 100th minute. Is there a century strike on hand for Rising? 2-1 Loudoun in front. Corner to be taken by Charlie Dennis, swinging towards Hugo Farou. Everybody's in the box. Dennis is in. Ball is out! It's in! Yes! Carl Saint! Just your standard Desert night in the valley. Cool, calm Carl Saint and Loudoun United, heads down, fists thrown. Phoenix Rising have done it again. 2-2 at 38th and Washington, at the brink of death. Rising rise. Wow.
Picture perfect, Ryan. A century strike. I like how you coined it. Carl Fred Saint, right place, right time. Beautiful service from the corner there. But that is as timely as it gets. And for the second week in a row, it feels like Phoenix has done the absolute impossible.
Loudoun United scored in the first half, injury time, 9th minute. Phoenix Rising scored in the second half, injury time, 11th minute. The late show out west tonight as Pop Marboy clears it and 3 whistles come as Phoenix fight and grit and grind tonight for their 4th consecutive draw. They never make it easy, but they sure do make it fun. And this team deserves to get criticized for so many things tonight, but the effort, the intensity that they've lacked at times this year, not one of those. On September the 20th, a Saturday, as the tail end of the season starts to begin. 5 games left for Phoenix, Kevin Cardez, and they are still above the playoff line with still work to do, but they just got their head down tonight and found a way to clock 2 goals back in the final 15 minutes.
After it all settled out, we've had close moments, we've had choked leads, we've had comebacks that have had to just come from nothing but ashes, Ryan. 6 straight results in the heat. The run-in begins next game, the final 5 games, the run-in to the playoffs. This is as perfect as it gets, and for the second week in a row, somehow the final 45 to me blows the first 45 out in a way that I couldn't even imagine. I didn't think they had 2 more in them, and when the 100th minute struck, I could have told you there's no chance. For some reason, there was a chance, and for the second week in a row, second time in 14 days, magic for Phoenix Rising.
The dreaded draws continue for Phoenix, their 4th consecutive, longest streak since 2019, but this one doesn't feel so down and dreary. They score 2 in the final 10-plus minutes. They score a big one in the 101st from Carl Saint to make it 2-2. It's the Haitians' first of the year for Phoenix. And that is the final score tonight. Stay here. We will talk to Darnell King in the post-game wrap-up presented by Crown Public House. Hispanic Heritage Night was a success for Phoenix, but they still haven't put a full 90 together. So still some problems to persist for your Rising. We'll talk about it all after this break on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Suzuku's in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
Bliss and a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's The Lunch Break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KTUS AM 1060, on the KTUS 1060 app, and KTUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Time for one last kick of the ball on tonight's match. It's Rising Radio postgame wrap-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Listen to the music tonight. Phoenix 2, Loudoun United 2, as we welcome you back to the Rising Radio post-game wrap-up presented by Crown Public House on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Phoenix Rising trailed in this game against Loudoun United at home in the 80th minute. Giannis Learman own goal makes it 2-1, makes it tight. 21 minutes later, in the 101st minute, Carl Saint scored off a corner kick to cancel out Florian Velo, and Ben Mines finishes in the first half. It's the 4th straight draw for Phoenix Rising, longest run since 2019. But they're unbeaten, as Kevin Cortez would love you to know, in their last 6. So Kevin, as he joins me now, while we wait for Darnell King, a good result tonight for Phoenix, even if the performance is once again lacking for the duration of a 90 minutes.
Yeah, the first 45 was horrible. You can't sugarcoat it. It wasn't a good showing for the team in the first 45 minutes. The first half was one to forget, but they had moments where you're like, okay, I think they can break this down. You noted it really well at the start of the half. They had made 4 substitutions in the first 7 minutes of the second half. They had immediately swapped out almost half of the outfield players that they were fielding after Rakowski went down for injury at one point too during the first half. And you start to think, okay, there's going to be a little bit of a change, but they didn't shift. We were like, hey, is there a back 3? No, it's a back 4. Okay, we're going to play a back 4. Carl-Fred Saint looks really keen, and that would come on to be his goal at the end in the 100th minute, a century strike, as you put it. The second half, just like last week, a complete 180 from the first. It is shocking. Now you start to look at it, how can we do that twice? They can beat any team that comes here if they can do that twice. They have been firmly better than top 3 teams in the West and the East in the last 2 weeks in the second half, to the point where they've drawn results from losing positions down 2 goals both times. How do you do that for 90 minutes? How do you do that for more than just the second half? How do you do that without needing to get kicked in the locker room after a poor first 45? I have no clue. Thankfully, I'm not the coach.
Well,
but
I would agree. Thankfully,
thankfully you're not either, man. I mean, listen, we're on level playing field here, but this is the question, how do you do it for the entire time? Maybe Oakland is the get-right game, but is it a get-right game when you're 6 unbeaten? I don't know.
Well,
the
yes.
run-in starts next week.
Performance is the big question mark. I will say this. It is starting to feel like, and now it is not the same level of underlying number dominance that the 2023 championship winning team had at times, but the grittiness, the toughness, the draws, the goal-filled draws. No team in league history had more draws that were not 0-0 than that 2023 Phoenix Rising team. This 2025 team is closing in on that record. By the way, it's starting to feel very similar to the 2023 team. So I don't mean to say that this is the positive thing, but I would say there's something to be had for this Phoenix team down the tail end. But at some point, Kevin, they've got to get wins. And they've got to play better, yes?
Listen, I've been the one all year to put the positive spin on things. I think tonight I was pretty fair. This is the spin to me. I think that if you go into a playoff situation where you shoot penalties at the end of every game, you play 30 minutes of extra time, 2 15-minute halves, and you shoot penalties at the end, you want to be the team that's better in the second half, right?
Yep.
And this is a team that won a title off of their season record in club history on draws. If you can be the team, if you can be the team that is winning the second half in the playoffs, you will be the team that will win in a penalty shootout. You want to be the team that has the upper foot going in to 5 shots on net. They have been really good in shootouts in 2025. They have been really good in second halves in 2025. They have been really good recently in second halves in 2025. If you can't turn it into wins, turn it into draws on the card and wins and shootouts, because that's how you win titles. That's how they won a title in 2023. They did it with late game magic and a penalty shootout at the end of it all to win a title and lift silverware when it was all said and done. If that's how they want to recreate it, so be it, because a title is a title. But I think that there's something here that they can turn into a winning formula in the playoffs.
So, for Loudoun United, they'll end a 2-2 draw, move up to 38 points, stays third in the Eastern Conference. They've got 2 home games against Tampa Bay and Birmingham next. Don't go anywhere. We will give you the playoff scenarios at this point in time for Phoenix on the other end of the postgame wrap-up presented by Crown Public House. Darnell King is on his way as well to have a conversation with Kevin and I up here from the gantry at 38th and Washington. You're listening to the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
As Udochukwu in. Arteaga!
You're listening to Rising Radio, home of the 2023 USL champions.
And a burst of red smoke. Phoenix Rising, our home. Welcome to 38th and Washington.
Stick around for more as our broadcast continues.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Each day at work just dragging on. Get your sports fix on the lunch break. Join Chris Schubert and producer Evan live as they give their local perspective on the world of sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. Everything has a home on their plate. It's The Lunch Break with Chris Schubert, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060, on the KDUS 1060 app, and KDUS 1060 on YouTube.
Buying a house can seem almost impossible, especially today. But with the right agent in your corner, it makes the challenge seem effortless. Hi, I'm Connor Cochran with Good Oak Real Estate, your go-to agent in the Valley. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. because finding the perfect home shouldn't be stressful, it should be exciting. Call 480-688-3200 today. Again, that's 480-688-3200. Let's have the conversation.
Hey Phoenix Rising fans, this is Discount Tire, your hometown tire retailer and trusted partner on the road for over 65 years. We know it can be overwhelming when buying tires, but we're here to help. Our online tire buying guide, Treadwell, makes finding the right tires simple. Just plug in your vehicle, location, and driving habits, and Treadwell will give you unbiased, personalized recommendations based on your needs, not based on price. Inviting, easy, and safe. Just how tire buying should be. Shop tires with Treadwell at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
This is the Rising Radio post-game wrap-up on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Rising Radio post-game wrap-up presented by Crown Public House. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez, Darnell King is getting the headset ready now. We'll talk to him in about 20 seconds. We'll have a bunch of questions for him on Phoenix Rising's slow start. Some stoppage time conundrums in both halves for both teams, and a late comeback for Phoenix here in this one. Ryan Sikora again, Kevin Cardez. Coach Darnell King is with us. Coach, we'll start with the end. The fight from your group, the constant pressure you were able to put on a very good Loudoun United team tonight.
Yeah, it was a resilient effort to come back and not lose. So I'm glad the boys got that in. They got the tie-in. It's good. The substitutes come on to make a little bit of an impact in the end of the game. So kudos to them for that. But I don't think we should keep chasing games. It's a moment for us to start winning, like we know we can.
Yep.
So, Coach, how quickly does the conversation turn from that was a good draw, a fantastic fight to the end with a goal in the 100th minute, to how do we string it together for 90, not just 45?
Yeah, I think that's the key right there. I think having that performance and effort towards the end, you have that through the whole 90. I think when you come out like that, you destroy teams. You start putting goals in early, and now they're chasing the game. But we start to come alive when we're down a goal or two, and that's what you see what we can do at our best. So that's something that we have to have from the beginning. But once again, kudos to the resilient effort that they kept fighting and kept pumping to get in there. You see they have it in them, but at the same time, we need to kill off games early.
In just a moment on the goal scorer who ended up getting the tie, Carl-Fred Saint. He's been out of the squad with Haiti a couple of times in 2025 and has fought his way back into the squad and has moved from a midfielder down to a center back. What have you guys seen from him as he's transitioned his role from what he was when he started to now as pretty much a central center back?
Yeah, it just shows his versatility. He's a player that is calm on the ball, and he's good at his passes and looking forward and breaking line. So, for him to get in the box at the end and, what's to flood the area, great service. And for him to connect is good for him. Coming back off of his national team duty to get a goal is always nice. So good for him. But yeah, once again, the performance is something that we need to focus on more throughout the 90.
Coach, I guess from a more positive angle, again, we've taken that so far. There will be some negative stuff in a moment for me, but you captained the 2023 team who had a similar level of moments like this where they fought and they clawed. And we've spoken about it at times this year on the end of losing some games like this, but what kind of similarities does this group share to that 2023 team that you were the man in charge of, basically?
Yeah, I think you go back to that resilient effort. You see the guys on the bench, they're ready to come off and make an impact. You have that depth there. So it was good to see that, and it's a bit of a similarity that we had in 2023 with guys coming off the bench and being able to keep the same level, if not higher, when they came onto the pitch. So that was a big thing for us this game, because they had to make a moment and change the game even though we were down 2-0. So like I said, the resilience that this team has is similar to the 2023 team.
As bluntly as I can put it, what happened at the end of the first half with all that stoppage time? Did you guys get any explanation on all the extra stoppage time there?
Sorry, I'm blanking on it. I'm trying to think of kind of what happened there. I'm not totally sure. I was really dialed in onto what was going on and focusing on what we were going to be talking about at halftime. So not totally sure. I'll have to look back at it and kind of see.
Where do you see this group's potential leading? With all the goals they can score, where do you see it going for this team if they can put together a full 90 minutes consistently for a couple of games in a row come playoff time, come the tail end of the season like we're at?
Yeah, I think it's a team that will definitely put fear in other teams. If we can just, from the get, just start punishing teams early, you'll start to see teams kind of like, okay, Now we have to really focus on that. But you see teams trying to catch us in transition and moments, and if we have mental lapses, that's where teams execute. And, for moments like us, we need to get guys attacking the box when balls are being delivered in. I think we have a lot of times the ball gets through and we have opportunities to score. But like at the end of the game, you see we get the chances when we do make those runs, when we do get into the area, when we do pummel teams multiple times and put them under the rest. You see what can happen.
Yep.
So.
All right, Coach King, go get to the changing room. Thank you so much for your time.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Darnell King, assistant coach, Phoenix Rising. His team 2-2 today. They trailed by 2 goals at the end of the first half as we bring in Casey Smith to talk with us for the rest of this one. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes left in this Rising Radio postgame wrap-up presented by Crown Public House. Ryan Sikora, Kevin Cardez, the aforementioned Casey Smith. Boys, I'll give you the table. Tulsa clinched today. Not the number 1 seed, but a playoff spot. They are on 47 points in first place. Sacramento Republic are inching closer to that Tulsa mark on 41 in second, and it's San Antonio and Lexington occupying home playoff spots with New Mexico in 5th, El Paso and Phoenix both on 32 points in 6th and 7th place respectively. Colorado Springs is in 8th on 31, Orange County 29 in 9th, Oakland Roots, Las Vegas Lights, Monterey Bay FC the rest of the way. So next week heading into the Oakland game, Phoenix cannot quite jump into a home playoff game because they do not have the tiebreaker over Lexington, but they are still within striking distance, Kevin, just as much as if they lose to Oakland, then it starts to get really tight. It's a real 6-pointer next week.
This is as real of a run-in as I think that I've experienced being here, working these games and doing these broadcasts. This is the most crucial 5 games in every way of the word because they could drop completely out of the playoff picture when it's all said and done. They could be in a home playoff spot for the first time in basically 4 years when it's all said and done. So much on the line for them, and they have 2, I think, their longest road trips that they'll take all year long. Out to Pittsburgh, out to North Carolina. They have a brutal San Antonio game sandwiched right between them. North Carolina is on fire in the Eastern Conference. Pittsburgh is a tough game on the road. They pack the house. They do really well at that stadium on the water. And San Antonio was really tough on the road when we played over it in Toyota Field. They have a really tough stretch, but it starts with Oakland, and Oakland's on a bit of a spiral. If you can find a way to get them, and ignoring the 3-3 draw result against the Battery, which is a huge result for Oakland on the chase for the playoffs on their own right, there's a chance to start once again that cascading effect. But how many games can you draw in a row before it just stays stagnant? Every time it's, hey, if we just win this one, we can jump up into this spot. Well, 4 games in a row and 4 draws, we have 4 points from what, our last 12?
11th draw of the year for Phoenix Rising, second most in club history. Oakland drew 1-1 tonight with Western Conference leaders Tulsa. So the spiral is there, yes, but they've also shown well against a couple of good teams. Casey, there's got to be a jump, as Kevin says, for Phoenix over these next couple of weeks. That jump comes in the form of what for you?
Yeah, well, that magic number that they are eyeing is 40. That is the point they got to get to. So you're looking for 8 points from the next 5. I think personally, it's got to come from playing a full 90. It's no one aspect. It hasn't been just that they've been giving up silly goals at times. It hasn't just been that they haven't been able to progress the ball at times. It's been that they haven't been able to do all of that throughout the entirety of a game. It's just sometimes in the first half or just sometimes in the second half. That's not going to cut it.
All right, Casey, thank you so much for your time tonight. Kevin, we'll close it with you. Final thought.
I think. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to just ask your final thought.
I think that this is another inspiring performance, but this is how I'll take this one away. You can spin it both ways, but I think that they've played a bad game and a good game in the last 2 games. One bad half from each, one great half from each. They have played a game in which you could see them beating Sacramento and beating Loudoun, 2 teams that are top 3 in their respective conferences. If they would have played the full 90, they could have lost by a lot if they played their first half game against either of those teams. I have no idea where the needle's going to fall, but they can set the tempo, they can set the time, and they can do it on their own. If they were to just put it together in the next 5, somewhere along the line they need to string together a win. You're not going to win all 5 here, but if you can win 2 or you can win 3, you can start stacking something for the playoffs. I maintain what I said. Being a second half team isn't a bad thing in a playoff format that favors a penalty shootout, but you want to be a team that wins it and doesn't let it get to that point at all. Phoenix needs to focus on being that and not just playing for the minimum, because 3 points right now would have done them so well for the past 5 games. They got it against Colorado. They couldn't get it for the last 4. Can you get it against Oakland? And if you do, can you turn it into a run?
First of a 3-game homestand, concluding tonight a 2-2 draw. It's Oakland next Saturday right here on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network, then New Mexico at home to kick off October. 5 games to go till the finish of the regular season for Phoenix Rising. They get 2 goals late on in the second half. An 80th minute own goal from Giannis Learman, and a 90+11 goal from Carl Saint to cancel out 2 goals from Loudoun United, Florian Velo, and Ben Mines in the first half. So that's the tale of the tape tonight from 38th and Washington. For our touchline reporter, Casey Smith, our engineer here on site, Sammy O'Brien, back in the studio, Corey Walsh, my analyst, Kevin Cardez. I've been Ryan Sikora saying so long from 38th and Washington. Phoenix Rising 2, Loudoun United 2. They'll host Oakland next week on Saturday, September 27th. Pregame at 6:30, start at 7 o'clock on the Phoenix Rising Radio Network. Good night, everyone.